intentionally don't move shit around so that this doesn't happen.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
I really just, wanted to just be quiet for a minute and just see where that conversation went.
I mean, I feel like comparatively, it's not as interesting as some of the conversations that you've walked into.
It might not have been, but, you never know until you try.
That's
I
true.
mean, what were you expecting?
I don't know. I have no idea what to expect.
How much
I
blood
mean,
is
I
in the
am a
baby,
bit of a loose
obviously.
candle. Candles.
Candle.
Cannon. I can.
A loose
Hey,
candle.
either.
I'm done with my life now.
That's fine.
Hey, a loose candle will burn your house down.
Yeah, don't worry. We won't razz you about that for the entire session.
I will put you out.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Disciplinary action. Start
Uh,
running laps on the camp.
You're gonna first have to form a coherent sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Wax lighting device.
I'm sorry, Sergeant Candle. I've got a letter that says I don't have to run in gym.
If only.
You know, I could be taking a nap right now. In fact, I could have not spent my entire morning making maps for you bitches.
But you know what? We appreciate that you did.
And this is
So-
the thanks I get.
Yes.
Well, like,
Fuck.
Because we
I
love
mean-
you.
Did you like?
No,
did
no, no.
Did you like seal it with a wax seal?
This is how we show our love to people.
Absolutely.
I want the audience to know that because Alex left.
Oh,
I would like the audience to know that the part of the candle that you light on fire is called the wick.
That's
Yes.
it. You will only get this half-finished map. I'm not making any more.
okay, that's fine.
No more nice maps.
Listen, Alex. I don't tend to tease people that I don't like. So
I feel like I should take a page out of Iggy Maid's book and make a gay baby jail voice channel and just start throwing people into that.
Alright then. So, welcome
Anyway.
back everyone to the liberation of St. Cardaius Rest. When we last left off, the team had been airdropped behind enemy lines to begin sabotage operations.
Mm-hmm.
You had landed safely, recovered your Taurox, rebuilt the collapsible trailer, piled your gear on, and headed off towards a large mesa in the distance.
Can I suggest a name for the operation?
Yes.
Sure.
Operation Foul Squat.
what?
There's multiple ways you can interpret that statement.
I would really like to hear them.
Well, one implies, it's Agrotrom and he's stinky and he's gonna make bad issues. Or it could reference, taking a shit, because they're sabotaging and making all their stuff go to shit, etc., etc.
Okay.
I will say, I think, Mason, if there's a way for you to back away from the microphone just a tiny bit, you're peeking the microphone just a little bit.
Oh, shit. Okay, it should be better over here.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
you're good there. Okay. Thank you.
Let's hold it. I had
Other
it too
thing
close.
that's on the list of things that we need to do, but we don't actually need to do, but we definitely need to do.
Uh-huh.
We still need to name the Taurox.
We do. still
Mhm.
need to name that. We should probably do that in an NRP session later. But although I guess if people want to send in, recommendations.
Feel free. My suggestion is still Betsy.
Hmm.
That is me as
I
a
like it.
player, not me as
Yeah.
Nualia.
I mean, that would have been interesting on both counts. frankly, but-
I mean, if we adjusted it to Bessie, that would fit our overall cow theme we got going on.
Hmm.
True.
I don't know. I like Iron Cat.
So, right, what were we doing again, Hugh?
Yeah. You were heading towards a large mesa, presumably to set up your camp.
Yeah, let's go
Presumably.
do that. I mean, so we have that pilot now, right? Who can Are we just assuming she's on
Yes, with
driving?
the tank crew member.
Yeah.
And yeah, I put her on driving.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get in the Torox and start fucking around with the spy network. Start getting that set up.
Nice. Aren't we like on our way to, or did we already get to the thing?
You were heading towards the mesa,
Lit.
and okay. Ta-da!
Ooh, very fancy.
Nice.
I like this.
Ooh.
You're not allowed.
Sorry, too late. I did. Nothing you can do about it.
Not allowed.
Sorry, I just, I
Alright.
don't make the rules, I just enforce them.
All right. I'll do you the kindness of saying there is one thing wrong. You don't got the diagonals on the compass.
Oh no.
Does that satisfy you, nerd?
Yes. Thank you.
Graven
Soon.
heresy, clearly.
I was zoomed too far in, and now I'm zoomed too far out. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, the difference between 20% and 10% is very vast.
Yes, yes, it is. Okay, this is
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, this is one of the first maps
I like this.
drawn by Alex.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think of what this reminds me of.
Like a pirate map?
Yes.
Treasure Island.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
it's got a very nice, very good Treasure Island vibe.
Yeah,
Possibly
it does.
those mesas look like islands, I guess.
To be honest, I thought
That's just
this
me not knowing geography.
this kind of reminded me of like what I imagined a Pacific war map would look like for a specific island if it was hand drawn.
Interesting.
Well, that is a large mesa of an off-white stone jutting unevenly out of the ground, surrounded by a couple of tall pillars of stone here, there.
Is this the kind of thing we think the Tauros can drive up, or are we talking like miles and
It's
miles up?
sheer cliffs around it.
Okay.
They're
Cool.
fairly
Good cover.
uneven and could be climbed, but getting the Tauros up there might be difficult.
Sure.
It's surrounded by large copses of the same multi-trunked trees, small bushes, and of course the ground is littered with the red roots and green streamers of St. Cardaius blood.
And just for reference, we have other rock formations around the area. These are my shitty attempted trees, which makes these bushes.
Okay.
Enjoy.
They're perfectly fine. Like, we can navigate by this.
As long as it's legible, that's the
Alright.
important bit.
Yup.
And it is. So, there you go.
So I would like to survey around this mesa and see if there's a place that we could easily set up a bit of a walkway up to the top.
Yeah, is this going to be our FOB?
Show what now?
Forward operating base.
Yes.
Cool.
At least for the time being. Also, this is just me being needy, but could we possibly get the war map put on a handout as well so we don't have to keep flipping back and forth? Or at least a screenshot of the area that we're currently operating in?
Yeah, I'll give you a screenshot.
On a random note, because I was trying to figure out exactly what rank we were. According to the book, once we hit rank 3, we don't lose that, even when we ascend.
What?
Yeah, once you hit rank 3, that's as high as it goes, but it never decreases, even after you go to a different tier.
That sounds mildly broken.
I must have missed that.
It's page 100,
rank.
page 146 and 150, or 146, 147. When you earn 100 XP, you can increase the tier of the game, as detailed in the Ascension section below. Your rank always remains the same, even after you ascend.
Fair enough then.
Uh,
Yeah, your rank can't decrease.
Yeah.
That settles
Fair
a whole ass
dues.
argument you and I just got into.
Yeah.
Freya, we are using the Wrath and Glory system. I believe we're on version 2 of the core rulebook.
2.1,
2.1, thank you.
which I think is like the 5th version they've put out now.
Yeah, there's been a few.
But yeah, it
Like 5 versions in 2 years
yeah, that
since it first came out.
honestly, like that makes sense because it was a little weird having your rank increase every time you hit 40 XP, because it's just like, okay, so 40 XP, then 80 XP, then you hit 100 and go to the next tier. It's just like, but yeah.
Well, my
No,
big
that's
complaint
fair.
with it was that like a lot of your skills and abilities and shit that are extra for your class use your rank.
Use your rank or double your rank. Yeah.
And so it's like arguably you get less powerful whenever you tier up until you get to rank 3 again if you
Yeah.
go back to the beginning because you kind of
It
nerf
makes
your
the
powers.
it makes the early tier really powerful to keep your rank, or it nerfs getting to the tier at all to tier up. Yeah,
Well, that's fair
Which was
enough.
but
the
yeah.
big argument that you and I got into.
Honestly though, like I like not losing the rank because it does kind of make sense, especially at later tiers. You need those bonuses. They are the difference between life and death.
So does that mean it goes above rank 3 now?
No, rank 3 is
No.
the max. It's just because you can start at any tier, but you gain ranks through the gameplay.
Oh, so it's not by experience points at this.
Correct. It is by XP earned during the game. So technically, we actually should not be rank 2.
Should we be rank 3?
We should be rank 1.
We should be rank 3.
Eh,
Because we started off at, I think, 150 XP?
140 or so. but
140, yeah.
I'm going
It's up to
to
you.
allow you to stay at rank 2 anyway, as you did survive a previous engagement.
Okay.
I'd say you.
It's
This
your
is.
back. It's your first combat. Good job, kids.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are technically speaking veterans of at least 2 battles now. Which,
You motherfuckers are veterans of a Titan fight.
Yeah.
There are very few
mean-
people who can say that.
Hard to call that one necessarily a victory, but still.
Of course, but like getting away alive?
Anytime I get out not dead, I consider that a victory.
But yeah, you should have a map of the AO in your handouts.
So, Zephy, welcome to our Wrath and Glory game. This is based on the Warhammer 40k universe. So, a Titan fight. The story of the group was most of these people, my character excluded, they lost the vast majority of their soldiers in arms, their brothers in arms, by being infantry and charging a giant fuck off mech.
I didn't know that's how we died.
Yeah.
Yep, the 999th was put together out of several companies that were caught in an assault against a Warhound Titan and largely obliterated. The 999th squad is the last survivors of that engagement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just some short guy from off-world. What's going on? How did I get here?
So, social media has kind of ruined this for me because every time we say squad, my brain gets all memey and I don't like it.
I said squad or squat?
Squad.
I said squat. Damn.
I know what you said, but they said squad when they were talking about this stuff, and
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear.
listen, I haven't
yeah.
been sleeping
Legally.
properly.
I'm legally
Officially, you are a full platoon, but you only have 10 people, which is half a squad in the Astra
Yep.
Militarum.
Yeah, but we're just that good. Like, whatever.
Wait,
I mean, we are.
So 20 people is a squad.
Is standard squad, yeah.
I'm writing this because I will forget.
Yeah, remember that the Imperium has literally trillions of people to just shove into the meat grinder whenever they want.
Yeah,
So-
and a platoon is supposed to be 2 to 4 squads.
So what I'm hearing is that we can get at least half a dozen cherubs at minimum.
And a platoon, if I remember correctly, that's what our like actual thing is named. Like
Yes, you are the 999th Platoon, 1st Squad.
Right.
Though no one gives a shit about your squad number because you are the only squad.
Once we start, requisitioning some militia people.
If I do manage to recruit enough people, how does that work? Do we just get like another person in charge of each squad and we like group it out? Like how's that gonna work?
Honestly, we could probably have secondary characters at that point.
Well, I mean, as you recruit new members and as you possibly get new reinforcements sent over, you presumably, Flux, will be given a higher rank and platoon command. And then there will be a sergeant leading each squad.
People.
Ooh, actually, Freya makes me think of a good question. Tangentially related. How many Space Marines are in a squad?
10, usually.
10. Thank you.
So we're doing the work of 10 Space Marines with, like...
No, we're doing the work of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing work.
Space Marines operate in squads of 10 when they are arrayed in chapter battle formations.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, they don't muster that many troops usually. A single squad is often all they send to a conflict zone.
Yep.
That's all
I
you
mean,
need.
if you need a whole like city to be just burned down, all you need is like one Space Marine on a day he's not feeling good.
Generally speaking, yeah.
I mean, if
It's
you really
got
wanted,
multiple bombs and a sort of power armor, go nuts.
if you really wanted it done fast, you get a salamander.
There is a Warhammer 40k video game literally entitled Space Marine, and in it you play as one of, I think, 3 or 4 Space Marines that were sent to basically secure and...
One
For-
dies at the beginning.
Does he?
Yeah, one of your
Okay.
squad gets mushed at the very start during the descent. Only
Oh, I didn't even
Leandros,
see that.
Titus, and Sergeant survive.
Oh, I didn't even
Isn't
see
that
it.
the one
Okay.
that showed me
Yes.
Space Marine hop onto the orc ship.
Yes, but yeah, they
Yep.
sent 3 dudes to secure an entire facility against an entire Orc-Wa.
Yeah, Space Marines are brutal.
Get off my ship!
Oh, Space Marine, get off my ship!
Space Marine! Anyway.
The fact that Agrotrom survived being bitch slapped by one, even when he wasn't trying to hurt you, is pretty impressive.
Is extremely impressive. Yes, the fact that he was able to hit the Space Marine, the fact that he was able to cut the Space Marine is incredible.
Yeah, I got him on his weak point, his little nip.
Yeah, he even congratulated you on that before knocking you flat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Now we're buddies. Anyway.
Lesa pulls the Taurox up alongside the Mesa, and you are free to disembark and scout as you see fit. I would say anyone who is helping out Flux looking for a way to potentially, put this Mesa to use, go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Do I have things in that?
So as we get out, I'm going to say,
I do not.
Riven, could you and Billy start setting up our long-distance Vox
Can do.
and packing? Christoph and Risa, you're going to be helping. Lanewald and Packard, get yourself on top of the Mesa. See if you can get a look around. Everyone else, we are looking for a easy way to get up there that we can build a path.
Absolutely. I think be better suited to patrolling. Power armor is not good for scouting.
Take the far side of the mesa, make sure that we're not being flanked.
Absolutely.
So, Hugh, would that be tech if I'm setting up a Vox network?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a tech roll. Everyone can feel free to drag their icons onto the map. You can place yourselves wherever you feel like.
Tiny Sister Noalia.
Do we have picks? Or things that can function like picks?
Picked recorders.
Not what I was referring to, but noted.
Oh, do you mean
There
like
is
a
a,
pickaxe?
It's like a mining pick, yeah.
Oh, a mining pick. You didn't requisition any, I'm afraid.
Get my thing on the map.
Remind me to do
Try
that.
dragging
Drag
it by your
the
text.
name, not the icon.
Yeah.
Tiny me.
Very small. Otherwise, Agrotron would. He's gonna like. I should probably say out. You know, if you went with my recommendation, I'd build a cave in this place instead of trying to get on top of it.
Sure, but if
Much
you made a
more
cave, no
defensible.
one else would be able to get in.
Unfortunately, we have 128 hours to sabotage things rather than 128 hours to carve a hole in the side of the mountain.
He looks insulted. You think it would take a squat who lives in mountains 128 hours to make a cave?
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware you could chew your way through rock.
He picks up a rock.
Eat it, bitch, do it.
He will. He is. He's gonna try to fucking clamp down this fucking rock.
Oh my god.
Ow.
Go ahead and give me a toughness roll.
Ooh.
We're fucking made of rocks, yo!
Ooh.
Tell me tooth.
All right, yeah. There's a crunch.
Oh boy.
Agrotrom, you feel a sharp pain, but you do chomp through this fairly soft-seeming stone.
Just
He's
eat
like-
fucking limestone.
His eyes are like bulging. Fucking, he's like, Heads out.
Why was it important for you to eat this rock?
He's waiting. He doesn't actually say anything. He's waiting for like, he's waiting for. How did I forget the name? Jesus Christ. Flux to look away just briefly.
Yeah, Flux is just gonna sigh and go back to looking for an easy way to build a path up to the top.
Mm-hmm.
He spits out half a tooth.
I
He turns to Ribbon. For appearances, no?
I
have an image to uphold.
Of course you do, but I mean, honestly, save it for the enemy. We're gonna have plenty of other people hurting us. We don't have to hurt ourselves in the meantime.
It's for morale, you know.
That's fine, but I don't have to patch you up before we even make contact.
Wait, man. This is fine. I'll patch it up myself. He takes
That's gonna go even worse.
Oh boy.
I mean, at this point, he's like got half a tooth. He doesn't need a fucking crown. He's gonna pull the fucking ape method of this and just pull the fucker out.
I cannot believe that as soon as we got here, you broke a tooth. It's like,
Hey, Nualia. Did you bring dentistry equipment in that med bag?
mean, I have a cryourgence tools. Let's see what I can MacGyver out of it.
He is not going to go to any of you to fix his fucking tooth.
well, it's your own damn fault. So
Exactly.
We're not wasting medical supplies on bullshit decisions.
no, absolutely not.
He's taking care of it himself.
Flux, what did you order Lanewald and the twins to do?
Packard and Laywald are getting themselves to the top of the mesa as lookouts, presumably at different points of it. I would hope that would have been implied for them. The twins.
Well, I think their plan is to climb up and then just diverge to different points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I asked
absolutely not.
Kristoff and Risa to stay with Lisa and just keep the vehicle secure
Fair enough.
while the rest of the humans are spreading out.
All right then. Riven.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not difficult to set up the Vox unit. It's designed to be assembled quickly and simply by the dumbest of troopers.
Hmm. So made for Nastardes then.
Don't catch people saying.
Damn.
Don't let anyone catch you saying that.
Oh, I'll have to save it for when Nuali is around.
But yeah, you're able to assemble the Vox. I will give you a little icon for it.
Oh, fantastic.
What do I have to roll in terms of finding a easy pathway up the mesa that we might be able to convert?
Survival.
Lit.
Ribbon, where do you want to place the Vox?
I mean, I guess the question is like, when are we gonna move the Torox?
I know nothing about rocks.
Right.
Do you even know what rocks are?
I have seen a rock once.
in a book?
There are ways
What's
to extract
happened to
useful
rocks when
metal.
they sleep?
Alright.
Listen. Metal is rocks, right?
In a sense, yes. Alright, so I just need 1 point for it, or do I need multiple points?
The
It's the
Vox
green
is
square, right?
yeah.
Alright.
You can put it anywhere you want.
Okay, I'm gonna just say we'll just do it on the ridge here, or right about probably here-ish would be fine.
All right.
That is where the
Well,
artillery shell will land.
we'll wait to unpack everything else until we decide exactly where we're going to be parking the Torox. I'd like to keep it close to whatever pathway we make up to the top of the mesa.
Mm-hmm. So would you rather the network be on the ground level or on the mesa level?
Everything we have is going to be on the ground level. We're
Okay.
going to make an easy path up the mesa. That way we don't have to waste a ton of energy when we send people up and down, because we will be keeping a rotation of watch the entire time we're here.
Mm-hmm. It should be fairly defensible.
All right. Packard and Lanewald begin climbing the sheer cliff face as you do a circuit flux. You and Agrotron both give it your best shot, but the walls of the mesa look very unstable. Packard and Lanewald slip a couple of times as they climb up, loose rocks falling away to the ground. But they both manage to make their way up. You can't
And
see any clear, easy way to place a path up, but if you were going to pick somewhere between two walls would probably be the best spot.
lit.
On a side note, if just for future reference, say Noalia was going to use the Vox speed in her power armor to communicate, that would not be picked up by enemies in like the main big
No,
supply
it's
city, because the signal doesn't go that far, right?
exactly. Unless you
Okay.
use a more powerful Vox that can reach those distances, they won't notice.
Okay.
Unless they, happen to have scouts in the area or
Yeah.
listening posts set up, etc. There are ways they can get around it, but
Yeah. Okay.
theoretically, you can only be detected within the range of your Vox unit.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, given we don't have a good way up, I'm gonna say fuck it, and we're gonna set up in this area if we can. Try and get
What
ourselves
area?
a bit more. Try and get ourselves a bit more sheltered from the visible whatever. Because I
All right.
assume the Torah up with the camp whatever in there.
Yeah.
Plus, it gives us an extra exit out the back. That way,
Yeah.
we have a wall to two sides, which is fairly defensible.
You
Method
could
of lookout
manage that,
and two
or
exits.
do you want it that way around?
It would be nice if I could just drive off if something bad happens.
So yes,
That's
facing
fair.
out of the tunnel.
Facing out of the tunnel.
Alright then, to leave the side with the tent structure free, I would say that would probably be the best angle. Because you've got the rear tent structure on the back of the Taurox, and then one on the right side.
Lit.
Out of curiosity, do there happen to be any like interesting fauna, just like amongst this mesa?
Go ahead and give me a survival or awareness roll. I'll allow either.
I'll do awareness.
So, what exactly is contained in the set of tents? And what's contained in the side set of tents?
Let me give you a little thing for that.
And I got a 3.
Alright,
Oh, and as an aside, it seems like she might have broken her finger.
oh,
Ooh.
ouch.
Not sure though.
Yeah,
Definitely
could be
was
worse.
not-
Yeah, I've done that a few times. Broken the finger, torn the ligaments off it.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's about the size of your 2 tents. I'll make them pale green instead.
Valid. But what is in each of them? Are they both sleeping areas?
Well, they're just covers that extend from the hull.
It's whatever we
Oh,
want
that's
under them.
Then I'm gonna put the valuable shit in the back, because I assume one of those can fit our entire squad.
Including the passenger seats in the back of the Taurox, yes.
Cool. The Torx has a side door, right?
Yep, on both sides.
Alright. So
cab.
we're gonna the one tent with the side door, and that's gonna be where everybody sleeps. Back
Okay.
area is gonna be our like control command center, whatever.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna say
sorry.
that Noalia was sure to pack an extra set of vestments for this because she's a little tired of sleeping in power armor the whole time.
That's fair.
Sorry, you.
3 successes. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, just given that we ended up over there, is it possible that I could move the Vox unit over to, or the network over to start over here? I didn't realize we were gonna end up over on this side.
That's no problem.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Whereabouts do you
Yeah.
want it?
So I
That's
imagine we'll
fine.
keep the box stuff like decently in this hidden area,
Yeah.
but close enough that we can pack it up in the Taurox.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we could get our supplies. Like, I imagine we'd be able to like bring them into this kind of area as well, so that they're, or at least
Yeah.
over here, we could get them like out of the way.
Yeah, I'd say you could certainly bring your supplies in. I'll give
Mhm.
you a few crates.
I feel so special. I have crates.
First, we make Hugh have to
These
like
fruits
come
are
up with names, and now we make him do art.
Oh,
I don't know
here
if
are
I'd
some
call this.
cubes.
I expect fully detailed wooden crates, Hugh.
Yeah, good
I
luck with
simply
that.
Box!
I Can you make them so we can move the cubes?
I can't, unfortunately.
How dare?
And one more of these.
Cool.
There you go.
So, I guess we're just gonna like jury rig a method to get up both this mesa, smaller bit and this one. So if there's a like quick and easy way to get that done in like one thing instead of having to make 2 separate paths, that'd be cool, but not required. Because I'd like to have a lookout on each.
Well, why don't you tell your squad? See what you come up with.
Oh, that's fair. Actually, talking to my underlings? Nah, fam. You should read my mind. Like, why are you not just already doing it? Yeah, this, just has their headset on, and we'll call up to Packard and Lanewald. Were you able to find a easy method up and down the mesa?
Easy is debatable, Sarge. The rock face is pretty loose. Takes a bit of effort to get up. Hard to do with a full kit.
Out of character, Hugh, we have entrenching tools as like a normal part of our equipment, don't we?
Shovels
a
shovels
pair
came
of-
with us.
Entrenching tool.
You have a pair of entrenching tools strapped to the sides of the Taurox.
We were also specifically given shovels too.
Well, entrenching tools are shovels, effectively.
Lit.
They have a collapsible handle and one side is serrated, so you can use it as a saw as well.
Nualia, if you were to estimate how much of a boost your power armor gave you in terms of strength, because we're all in the same Vox, so I assume she could hear me.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Nualia, if you were to give me an estimation of how much of a boost your power armor gave you to your strength.
I would say that it doubled it.
Excellent. You're on rock duty.
Very
You're
well.
Agratron on the radio. What? You are duty, but not me? Are you joking? This is what we're born to do.
I was also going to invite Agriltrom to assist in possibly making a second path up to the other mesa.
Yes.
Very well. Sounds like a plan. Did I see any interesting fauna?
Yeah. As you wander around the mesa, keeping an eye out, you notice a slithering shape disappear around a tree. One of the sewer creatures, perhaps. There are the tiny little lizard creatures clambering over the trees, and nestled into holes in the cliff of the mesa, you can see a strange little creature with feathered wings set at the shoulders of a bat-like body with brown fur and a curved, ridged head and a almost beak-like mouth. Its little clawed feet clinging to the rock, and it seems to use its mouth to help it climb, but there seems to be a large number of them nesting in the walls. You
So
can
they're-
see them watching you.
Yeah, I was about to say. So they're asleep right now, or
No, they seem to be not necessarily particularly active, but they're milling about, leaving their little burrows, watching you. Some of
Okay.
them flitter up into the air and flap about.
okay. I will also get on the Vox and say, Flux, I've discovered a small nest of possible scavengers. It might be good to make sure whatever food rations we have are safely locked up inside the Taurox.
Understood.
And then I'm with the visor still down so that no part of me is exposed because beaks look sharp, yo. I'm gonna just kind of look at them and just be like, they're actually quite cute. And that was not over the box. But I'm just gonna like, I don't know, hold out a hand and see if I can get one to come over to
Oh my
me.
god.
I'd call that a survival roll.
Okay. Yeah, this is very awkward. She has no fucking clue what she's doing, and yeah, she's never dealt with an animal before.
Say I didn't figure Nualia for survivalist, but well.
Hey, 5 successes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where were you when I
Yeah.
was trying to find a way up the rock?
Yeah, Noalia, you you stand still and hold out a hand and wait patiently as the small creatures cluster about 10 feet over your head, watching. Eventually, one's curiosity gets the better of it, and it flaps down, landing on your hand. Long three-toed feet, two to the front, one to the back, ending in long curved hooked claws, wrap around your hand. Surprisingly heavy for its small size. Its torso corded with dense muscle, flapping semi-feathered wings, about 2 feet across at its full extent.
Dinner.
It's a long face,
Badger.
has a bony ridge running down between its eyes and over its snout, ending in a hooked beak-like protrusion, but its mouth is filled with tiny needle teeth and a long pink tongue.
You are not keeping that.
Nah, it'll be
It
like
has,
those warhawks.
it has big, deep brown eyes on either side of its head. And yeah,
I
it
feel like we're keeping
stares
it.
at your helmet curiously, splitting its head from side to side before bending down to gnaw at your armored glove.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I do not lift up the visor at all, but I am gonna like stroke under the beak and attempt to stroke the top of its head.
At first, it tries to get away from you, leaning away from your hand before bending back down to try and gnaw on your armored glove. But after a little while, it loses interest in your attempts to pet it and continues to try and pry armor plates off your glove and allows you to stroke it gently.
Squad pet, I guess.
No, and then I'll just lift it to back up to the rest of its nest.
You know,
It flaps back to the cliffside.
if she could manage to train it before we had to get back to base to where it would like behave, then sure. She can have it.
I mean, if she can repeat that kind of survival roll a few times, then it's definitely doable.
But yeah, Noelia will make her way back, and yeah, she'll go to Flux and say, so the possible scavengers, they are somewhat friendly, not immediately hostile, though the one that that landed on me did attempt to try to remove some of my armor plates, but it was unable to do so. I definitely would be very careful with anybody else near them, especially with any kind of exposed flesh. But they don't seem hostile. They're curious, but still probably better not to take a chance.
Do we still have that
You do.
book?
Yep.
The flora and fauna book.
Yep, this creature matches the description of the Rordu.
The Rordu.
I'm going to train one of them to trade smokable plants for nice bread when I have spare time.
How's that path coming along, Rock Boy?
You hear the sound of a rock breaking.
Yeah, Agrotrom, go ahead and
The
give
rock
me
didn't know what
a.
bit it.
I'll give you survival or tech.
Survival's better. Could I argue for maybe one bonus dice? Because this is kind of like he's in his element on this.
Go on, you are a squat. I'll give you a bonus dice.
Sick. Hey, not bad. Not horrible.
Yeah, the stone of the mesa is certainly harder than the surrounding stone. You suspect that most of the bedrock here is probably limestone. The mesa appears to be a very weathered, but still fairly stable material. With some logs, you could probably build a pathway by sinking planks into the rock face. Take some time, but could be done.
You'll kind of bring that back. I do believe we could create a path with some wooden planks and a little bit of rock work. You can see right here. I will mark it with my special patented agrotrom pittance. You just hear like a ting, ting.
God damn it.
Sorry, what did I miss?
Patented
Agrotrom
agrotrom
making beds with
pittance.
rocks.
Okay.
I don't know. That's an interesting takeaway. Anyway,
Okay, Flux knows tech. Would they be able to estimate how difficult it would be to repurpose the chainsword for cutting down a tree?
Yeah, give me a weapon skill roll.
Not a tech roll.
Not a tech roll. This is knowledge of weapons, or specifically this weapon. 3 successes. Yeah, if you took the chain guard off it, it could probably be used as a fairly effective chainsaw.
Cool. That's step one.
I mean,
Yeah, Flux is just gonna situate themselves in a corner and just kind of avoid Riven for a minute while fucking with this.
do you mention any of that to anyone? That you're looking
Wait.
for a way to cut down trees?
I mean, I assume we're gonna need more than one person working on it.
Noel
I know where
is-
you're going.
Yeah, Noel is just
That's
like
also where Flux went.
yeah, Noel is just like I have a power sword.
Yes,
Wait
and I
for
believe
5
we'll need
minutes.
more than one tree cut down.
I walked away for 5 minutes and I have no idea what's going on now.
We're burning down the forest.
Oh, okay.
Smokey
alright.
the bear would be very, very proud of us.
Wait a minute. hold
Flux,
on.
with that weapon skill roll, you would also know that power field will rupture and detonate atomic structures on contact. So
So it won't work.
you could
enabling
cut
that
a tree down with it, but you'd have one end as a splintered mess.
I
I could
mean,
just cut down a tree with my axe. Grimball is multifunctional.
that is fair.
I forgot you had a fucking axe.
You
Then
forgot about Grimball?
Yeah, I don't.
He's so sad now.
then
I've been curious. I was assuming the axe was like hatchet sized. Is it actually giant? Agrotrom?
Yeah.
Comparatively to his size, he does use 2 hands to use it.
Okay, alright.
Although most other people would not.
yeah, I imagined it like kind of like a battle axe size.
Hmm.
Yeah. I am still gonna fuck with the chainsword. That way someone can possibly either provide him assistance and speed up the process or whatever else?
Yeah, it's not a particularly difficult task. You're able to remove the plasteel armored covering.
Nice.
Cool.
So I guess I'll get started on that.
Yep.
What
I
would you have
will-
me roll to cut a tree down?
Yeah, I'll have Noalia help him with the
It's not
adjusted
really a
chainsword.
difficult task. I'd say weapons skill roll for Agrotrom and a survival or tech roll for whoever's using the chainsword, as they are functionally different processes.
Ooh, I am gonna re-roll that.
They're pretty much the same thing for me, so I'm just gonna do survival again. Yeah, I got us a glory.
Hey, we even out one complication
Nice.
and one glory.
All right. Yeah, Agrotrom. It takes a fair bit of work. The trees are root clusters with several straight trunks projecting out in a kind of V-shaped cluster with thick needle-like leaves across a small canopy. They're quite sturdy, very hard wood. Takes a good amount of whacking to get through. And after you've felled one of these small clusters, you realize that it is very much dulling your axe at a significant rate.
Grimble, no! What have I done? Ah! Where's my whetstone? It's like digging in a bag.
Yeah, Nualia. With the modified chainsword, it is effectively just a matter of pressing the blade against the tree and bringing it down. The adamantine teeth of an Astra Militarum chain blade are more than sturdy enough to chew through this material without much issue.
Yeah.
And while they're doing that, can we like work on getting the grab chutes like as packed up as possible and like set to go again if we can? Like I know we're not gonna have fuel for them, but like I don't know how the packing up the anything works with that.
Yeah, I'd say you can definitely pack them up without much difficulty.
Cool. Yeah, those are just getting put into like the we are not even gonna need these in the near future storage that stays on the little trolley thing we got.
Oh yeah.
Can I start deploying the Servo Skull network?
You certainly can.
I forget what's the effective range on the on that.
I would say I would say it would have at least a 100-odd mile range.
Oh,
Okay.
very nice.
Nice.
Okay, I would like to, if possible, I would like to send 2 of them, one to here, and just have them rotate counterclockwise to just give us a rough, like, outward-facing map of the area for, like, sonar.
They are the visual
Drone
radar.
coverage.
Yes. Yeah, it's drone coverage that I can just, well, actually, I don't have an MIU, so I can't look through their eyes, but we do have a screen, so
Where do you want them?
Instead, you will screech at them from the ground.
probably. Yeah, north side, south side, just around our encampment.
Alright, and how many did I give you? 4, right?
Yep, so deploying
Uh-huh.
2 of them.
Okay, so one at the north, one at the south.
And then they shall rotato potato.
Rotato
Alright.
potato.
The orange dots
Banana
are
rotate.
servo skulls.
Fantastic.
Alternatively, rotato potato.
A gratato.
Circle root.
So we've got a perimeter. Is my goal here. I'm gonna go back in the Torox and start monitoring because I'm gonna assume nobody needs me for stuff at this point.
That's up to Flux.
I feel like Ruben just does not even ask me half the time. She just does shit.
I assume if you want me to do something, you'll tell me, and if I start walking away back to the Torox once I've deployed servo skulls, if you need something,
Yeah.
you'll tell me.
Fairly self-explanatory.
Yep.
Once I've got a couple of trees set, I'm gonna go back to attempting to make the other path up to the second mesa.
Hugh, you're not allowed to die.
Doing my best.
Swear to fucking God, Hugh, every time we have a game, you fucking die on us.
I have to talk a lot.
No, you smoke a lot.
That too. But yeah, so
Smoking while
give
talking
me
definitely probably doesn't help you.
probably not. Give me a let's call it tech roll. Since this is creating steps and building a structure rather than just finding shelter or what have you.
Okay. 2.
And I see her struggling and go help. That's survival.
If you want to roll assist.
You rolled survival. Didn't you have to roll tech?
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
I still do want.
6 for the
You're fine,
glory.
you're not struggling.
All right. Yeah. It is not a difficult task. You're effectively just cutting planks from trunks. These trees are surprisingly straight already, so you don't actually have to do a great deal of work.
Yeah.
I'm
I figure
also
it's
curious.
more of having to like carve the space out of the side of the mesa.
Yeah, I'm also curious with the mesa. Yeah, folks will just walk over while Agrotrom and Noelia are working on that, and just kind of observe before saying, is there any chance you could make a hollowed out space that we could possibly put supplies in that we don't want to bring on us when we move the Torox?
Possibly. I would honestly think we might as well just have Agril take a shovel or something and dig a smaller hole into the side of the mesa.
With the box you're here, why does he even need a shovel? Can't he just eat his way through?
He'll get on. I can do both at once. I'm a multitasker. I can break the rocks with my bare hands too,
You sound
and
like
my feet.
you sound like a mole.
I had a pet one when I was very young.
Ah, so you gained
Maybe you rubbed
inspiration.
off on me.
So you gained inspiration from it.
He thinks for a second. Maybe. I was the only one who had a pet mole.
Okay.
I was also the only one who would actually eat the rocks they gave us for our toughness tests.
But yes, in all seriousness, I would say Agril probably cutting a small hollow space out of the side of the mesa here in this tunnel so that we could squirrel away supplies.
Something large enough we could shove these crates in.
Yes.
Possibly move some rocks in front of and disguise when we move the Torox. That way we don't need to leave many people.
Absolutely. I'm sure we could find either I'm sure we could find something big enough to shove in the path.
Also, Flux is not calling you Agrotrom anymore, Agril. It's just Mole. This is your nickname.
I mean, he doesn't acknowledge this.
But it is going in the book.
No. he has to give a shit first.
That is fair.
This isn't an attack. If anything, this is, hey, you're like that useful animal.
No, no, no. I'm saying this is yeah, no, this is Flux's new nickname for you. This is just what's happening. Not as a mean thing, just as a
No, I know.
This is a
thing.
pet
This is
name.
a defining thing. Oh my god. The mental images that just came up with that.
All right. So, Agrotrom and Walia, it'll take you to a couple of hours to put a stairway up the side of the mesa in.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing while that's being worked on?
Well, if Riven's going to be watching on the network, I'll get on the Vox. Packard and Lanewald, you're clear. Riven's going to be keeping a watch for a bit. Ooh, we have Raid. Hello, Raid.
Yes, hello, raiders. Thank you for the raid, Muir. I'm doing good. How are Avery, Mason, Hugh, Alex? How
Hi.
are you all doing?
Not bad.
I am doing fine. I am eating protein waffles. They're delicious.
That actually does sound good.
Yeah,
I-
they're like this frozen kind that you can get in stores. I'm actually a huge fan.
Nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out something to do with my hands so I don't bite my nails.
Fair.
I
I've
have
given up on stopping
comments.
myself from doing that.
Not ones I can say on stream.
Look, Dan has probably already said them like 1,000 times, so feel free.
That's fair.
What? I'm actually completely confused.
Dan's favorite joke upon hearing anybody ever ask, "What should we do?" His favorite joke in every scenario was to say, "Masturbate furiously."
I mean, that works, I guess.
It did the first
I will
time.
Your hands busy.
Just mute yourself first, Mason.
Yeah. So, Flux,
Sorry, Q.
Are you?
But yes, thank you for the raid, Muir. It is very much appreciated. And hello to everybody else.
To anyone who didn't immediately hear this, someone just fucking this person just told me to masturbate.
I did not tell you to do
No,
that.
Avery, I should have specified.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and mute for a second. No, we're back.
but yeah. Flux, Riven, what are you two doing? While Nualia and Agrotrom are building.
I'm just thinking. Suppose I can do stuff while monitoring comms, can't I?
Are you the only one that knows how to work that crap, by the way?
Probably.
What's the deal with the thing?
I would
The-
say, yeah, Riven is probably the only one who actually knows how to use it.
Cool. Step 1. You're gonna start training people.
Okay.
Feely and
Ooh, Feely's a good idea.
let's say Lisa. Cause she's gonna be stuck with the Taurox anyway.
I have an idea for that. Do do we have the equipment in the cogitator where I can make recordings?
I would say the system can record, yeah. Otherwise,
Okay.
it wouldn't be the best surveillance system.
Okay, if at all possible, I would love to start doing like small. I would like to, yeah, basically how-to videos, and set them up in a folder that's accessible for anyone.
The 99 Mechanicus YouTube channel.
Yep.
On today's video, we're gonna be showing you how to go back through video footage and slow it down.
Don't
The
forget to like and
face when
subscribe.
you engage in heresy on accident.
All right, yeah. Give
I think
me
that's my goal, yeah.
I'm gonna call that leadership.
Ooh, terrible at that. But that's fine. Never mind. I'm not terrible at that.
Hey.
And a glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
All
got
right.
3 glories so far.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I got a glory on eating a rock.
So, okay. So here's how I'm gonna do this. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to start recording. Like basically start screen recording. And if possible, superimpose images of myself doing the things and talking in a really condescending manner. So like, step one. This is the power button. Do not turn it off unless you absolutely need to, and just obnoxious shit like that. But
Unless something that you cannot identify goes wrong. In which case, turn it off and wait for 3 seconds, and 3
Mhm.
seconds only. Before
exactly 3 seconds. Yes, exactly 3 seconds by the imperial clock.
You
Um,
sh-
for any longer is heresy and must be reported to your nearest mechanicus who can be vaporized immediately.
and you can
So,
you shall not
Ribbon.
count any less time either, unless it be to go to 3.
yes, exactly.
So, Ribbon, are you including the various litanies, canticles, and prayers to the machine spirits that go along with each action?
I haven't decided how religious. I feel like I'm like lapsed mechanicus at this point. Been hanging around with
Well,
soldiers for too long.
You're a mechanicus in name only at this point.
Kind of. I mean, I just don't.
Well, you do interact with the machine spirit a lot.
I
And
think
a
it's
lot
more
of
like.
the various prayers are to appease the machine spirit.
Yeah, I think I'm more like. Yes, I definitely record those, but specifically the ones that go for the Taurox, and that's it. Like the rest of it's not. I'm not including unnecessary things in true mechanicus fashion. I'm going to make this as efficient as possible. Um, and yes, I will include the litanies that our particular Taurox machine spirit cares about, and nothing else. And yeah, otherwise it's just gonna be like I'm just gonna start recording things like that and put them in folders that are probably way too complicated, but make sense to me as a mechanicus. But yeah, I'm probably gonna spend the hour or a couple of hours just um, recording how-to videos so people can read them or listen to them or whatever.
All right, then.
Private Lesa, Private Philly, you'll be working with Riven very closely, learning how to use this array.
Feely gives you a sharp salute. As you say, Sarge. Lisa looks a bit more dubious, but nods along.
Lanewald, how familiar are you with missile launchers?
Lamewald makes her way over to you, shouldering the heavy stubber she's carrying. Well, I've not used one outside of training, but, how hard can it be? Can't kick more than this. She hefts the stubber.
I want you to take Kristoff and Risa and, without ammo, drill the use of that.
She gives you a solid salute.
When we do use it, you'll be overseeing them so that they don't murder us.
You got it, Sarge. And a
Just
bit of
gonna
a
grimace.
gleam,
Just gonna grimace.
and a grin crosses her face.
Just gonna grimace at the title.
Yeah, she'll stomp off. You hear her yelling, "Risa, get over here!"
I think I've made Lanewald very, very happy, and I might need to be more afraid of this than I should be.
All right then. Yeah, you hear the periodic shouting of lane wolves telling them off. Watch your fucking back blast! Thud. Ow!
Alright, and then I've got Agrotrom and Nualia building shit. Revan's keeping watch whilst teaching people. Yeah, I'm gonna make my way over to Packard then.
Alright. He's currently just standing off to one side, watching Nualia and Agrotrom build the platform.
Building a platform. It's not the caves of Umsalto, but it keeps my hands busy. And out of the sand. Ra-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I walked away for 30 seconds. What did I miss?
Just Agrotrom singing some more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta stop walking away.
You really do.
Ugh.
I'll also give you a little thing for your generator. Since you've got a little mobile one. And the main box unit will need to be plugged into it to actually run.
Excellent.
But yeah, Packard straightens up as you approach. What's up, boss?
Give me an overview of what you saw when you were up on the top. Visibility, weak points of our position, all of those.
A lot of empty plains. Land seems to rise towards the north. I can make out the highway to the south, but can't see much around at this range. We seem to be pretty alone. Saw a couple of those big dome plant things scattered about. Otherwise, it's just clear, open sailing far as the eye can see.
That'll be useful. At the very least, keeping watch will be relatively easy.
He nods.
We have the laminated bits of the maps that we, that of the other places we're going, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. I would like to take out T6.
Boom.
I assume we've already... Oh, you could just give a handout too.
I could, but
Oh, good lord, there's so much on this map.
Almost like it's a whole ass city or something.
No. Couldn't be that.
not quite a city,
What?
but
You,
definitely a military base.
you mean places people live or have more than 4 buildings? What?
What? No, they don't.
Wow.
It's illegal. That's not up to building code.
This is not up to OSHA regulations. Gonna have to pay a fine.
But yeah, Flux is just gonna pull this out and show it to him. This is the closest location that we have any data on. I'm thinking we head there first once we get ourselves set up. We don't know what's in there, so it will definitely be a recon mission to start. I'm definitely
Looks pretty
going to
heavily
join with it.
fortified.
Yeah, part of me worries we're gonna have to get Nuwali to chuck us up the side of the wall.
He gestures at the the northern side. This flank is the least defended. Might be a hard climb, but I'd reckon that would be the easiest way to get in without being noticed.
I'm sorry. Remind me, but didn't Nualia mention at one point that we have some kind of grapple something or other?
Yes, the Volg Spitfire pistol has a grapple shell, but I imagine that is quite loud.
How loud
Because
is the
It's a
grapple
reusable
shell,
shell.
Hugh?
Well, you can always test it. It's a reusable shell.
that's fair. We're out in the middle of nowhere. We can test it right now.
Yeah.
We shoot it just as a convoy is passing out within the maximum range. Oh yeah.
Flux will just look over to Nualia. Do you have the grapple gun, whatever, packed away?
Indeed.
I'm gonna need that.
All right. She takes the Spitfire pistol off of her hip, hands that to you, and then digs out digs out the grapple shell and hands it to you.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just get up and motion for Packard to walk with me. Let's
Yep.
test this away from where we'll be in the way.
He swings his rifle and swaggers over to you.
Oh, Packard has a swagger now.
Mm-hmm.
Excited. Yeah, we'll just find an area of the wall in our camp that's not currently gonna, like, if we fuck up, drop shit on important shit, and do some test shots, see how well it works, see how loud it is, etc.
Yeah, give me a ballistic skill roll. Hey, 7 successes and a glory. Nice. You're at max glory. Just letting you know.
Does not get more glorious than this.
So yeah, the Volk
Does it?
Spitfire pistol looks for all the world as a oversized flare gun. The barrel breaks open. You slide the shell in. It's a large metal canister with what appears to be a folded up grapple hook at the far end. You slide it in, slam it closed. You raise it over your head and pull the trigger with a pop similar to a suppressed auto weapon. The grapple sails out to the end of the weapon, arcing over the mesa, trailing a long but surprisingly thin metal cable that spools out from inside the canister.
And I am going to see how high it goes as well.
It reaches about 30 feet up before it begins to drop.
Given what I know and the data that I've got on that city, would that be enough to get up the wall?
Yes, the mesa itself is about 10 to 15 feet. The wall itself appears to be 10 feet-ish, based on the Logios Strategos estimates.
Okay. Could I take a minute and, like, sit down and really examine this gun and see, like, how sturdy it is in general?
It's a very simple mechanism. The most delicate part would be the spring system for the hammer of the weapon that fires the shell. Everything else is just simple sheet metal that's been pressed and welded into shape.
Alright. Flux will just kind of give a satisfied nod. Perhaps we could use it to get up the wall, set up a pulley system the first person that goes up, lower the gun down to the next.
Packard gives you a nod. Could do.
Wouldn't want to use it too much. It's not a lot of noise, but could still be noticed.
We'd
We might
have to
time
retrieve
it.
the grapple and line to repack it.
I think we'd have to time it with breaks, possibly 15-20 minutes between uses. Would mean it was a long period for the first person up there to hide, but it'd be nice to have more than one person in the wall at a time. Could I examine the line itself?
Yeah, it's a fairly strong, thin, flexible cable. You've seen it's like used many times before. It's the same stuff that was holding your Taurox up, attached to the landing thrusters.
How is it on friction?
It's difficult to keep a solid grip on, but grabbing hold of it and twisting your fists slightly at about 90 degrees gives you a firm hold.
And how much weight can it carry?
Well, you assume it can carry a Taurox if there's 4 of them working together, so you'll probably be fine.
So that would translate into being able to have more than one person on it at a time.
In theory, depending on how well it's secured at the other end.
With the spare equipment and stuff that we have, could I do a quick inventory? Because I know we've got extra stuff just for fiddling with the Torox itself and fixing things. Can I try and rig up some friction lock climbing gear?
Do you have a combi tool?
Riven does.
I do, yes.
I would say if you wanted to cannibalize some bits of equipment, like what could you use? If you cannibalized some of the equipment off the Taurox's descent pack that you dragged with you, you might be able to rig something together.
And good news, if they ever send us to something like this again, they're gonna give us a new one. So I feel zero guilt. Let's rip it apart.
Alright then. That would be a tech roll.
Cool. And just to be bullshit, can I like add a glory or two? Just because we've got more than we need?
Yeah. Oh.
That goes in bonus dice, right?
Yep.
Oh, and Alex, we have a unbiased third party in chat.
Go fuck yourself.
Wait, I'm confused.
Muir was saying that this is a really well drawn map.
Go fuck yourself.
Muir, I that is not directed at you. That is directed at me.
No, it was.
Oh, okay, very well. Then just
Siding against me?
It is time to compliment the paper. It was made from a tree.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal 2 of the glories since we seem to be generating it.
Or, yeah.
E.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, consider this the one opportunity where we can just kind of spend it, since anything we generate is going to be wasted.
Yeah.
Alright, 6 successes. Yeah, I would say you're able to whip together a fairly basic Drumar, a pair of Drumar friction locks.
So I only get 1 set.
Yeah.
But if I were to, for instance, climb up the line with it, I could just let them go and they'd slide down to the next person.
Yes, you have to squeeze them to activate the friction lock.
Lit. Excellent. And, yeah, Phlox is just gonna turn to Packard. 2 things. 1, these don't exist. 2, how's your climbing?
Packard kind of glances at the cliff behind him. Well, I climbed that.
Yeah, but I feel like a rope's a little different.
I feel like a rope's a little easier.
He shrugs.
I disagree entirely. Mountains are easier than ropes. Ropes, you're just at a dead hang. Mountains usually have some sort of an incline you can wedge yourself against.
Yeah, depends on how you do it and the mountain itself. But yeah,
I also have like 0 body strength, so I like largely rely on being able to lock myself into a position and push myself up from that position with my legs.
that is fair.
Which is exactly what a Drumar kit is designed to do on a rope.
That's fair.
I'm trying to find an image of it.
Thank you. I'm really glad you gave me a lecture on friction locks the other day. Otherwise, I would not have, I would have just been like, well, guess we'll toss the gun down the mountain.
Here we are. Let me just grab this image. And in general chat for Wrath and Glory, that those in the stream can also see.
If you are on my server,
Yeah.
And if you're not, you should be.
you should be.
So, a pair of these. You lift the handle, the lock releases, you push it up. The bottom of the handle has 2 holes. You tie a cord through that and make a loop at one end on one, and you tie the other to your harness. You put your foot through the loop so you can hang from the harness, lift your foot up with the loop on one lock, and then push you with your leg up to bring the one attached to your harness up. And then you
This
just
looks more fun
inchworm
than
up.
like actually like rock climbing.
Yeah. Here is an example of someone actually doing it.
We gotta do this sometime.
That's good fun. I've done it myself, actually. Climbing harness, Darabelle. On none of the fun stuff.
Don't
We're,
let Hugh lie to you. No, I'm just kidding.
I've done a fair bit of that as well. Just not what we were talking about now. This looks really fun. I'm really down.
This guy's actually doing it pretty badly, to be honest. You're supposed to bend at the knee so it's in a straight line with the rope, but whatever.
Yeah, that looks horrifyingly like it looks like he's just making it more difficult for himself because then you gotta like use your core muscles to get yourself up and over your foot again.
Yeah, but the
Seems like it would
principle's
be-
the same.
Seems like it would be better overall to take smaller scooches up so that you're expending less energy on the stepping up process.
Yep, that is generally the case. But yeah, that is more or less what you've been able to jury rig together using some springs and bits of sheet metal that you have cut and welded to shape.
Yeah, just conspiratorial grin. Don't tell the Mechanicus.
But yeah, I'd say by this point, Nualia and Agrotrom have finished constructing a wooden ramp up the side of the smaller mesa and a small bridge across the gap so that you can reach the other side, which should be visible on the map.
A wonderful construction. It's been
Nice.
too long.
Excellent.
Yes.
You also have a hell of a lot of camo netting
We do.
currently sitting in a roll on top of the Taurox.
Yeah. We've also got some like tent stakes and shit for a standalone tent.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely gonna just kind of give Packard a bit of a nod. Wonderful. Well, given you're our sniper, he is our sniper, right?
Yeah.
Might be good to, now that we've got an easy way up there for you, make yourself a nest. We've got a fair bit of camo netting and tent shit up there. Might be a good spot in those rocks. Kind of gesturing in that area.
He nods. Sounds good, Sarge. I'll get it done.
And what time is it? Or rather, countdown clock.
It has been about, I'd say, an hour and a half since, 2.5 hours since you landed, which is the official start time for the mission.
Which counts towards the 128 hours.
Yes.
Something just crashed across my house.
It's the crashing fairy, don't you know? Yeah, she drives a BMW and has a Karen haircut.
She typically just like goes through your wall.
Exactly.
Kool-Aid man.
No, it's the crashing fairy too.
Yeah, she just faced that shit, but she had one too many mojitos at the fucking IHOP.
As you do.
It's the first thing I could think of. Damn, fuck off.
No, I'm not laughing because it's dumb. It is dumb, but it is Karen level dumb. I'm just.
It's horrifying, really.
Yeah.
IHOP mojitos sound like a
That
nightmare.
sounds like absolutely exists, and I absolutely don't want it to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm totally right there with you.
Hugh, if you've never been to an IHOP, I gotta take you to an IHOP one time.
I think I've been to an IHOP. There was
I'm so sorry.
one in a Dubai airport that I went through.
Oh, that's probably better than any American IHOP,
well,
frankly.
That doesn't count.
I mean,
Any American place outside of America doesn't count as the place in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it assumes that's like going to like Berlin and finding a Waffle House.
I don't know.
Sure, it's a Waffle House, but it's a Waffle House in name only.
Yeah, no, I'm not slagging Waffle House. I've never been to one. I'd love to sometime.
Oh, they're
I just
amazing.
don't live in the South.
This is amazing, and we actually have our an emergency response system based on it.
I've heard that.
It's like the Waffle House Index, I think.
Yeah, no, I would never slag Waffle House. That's
You know, Waffle House is really good, and I have the utmost respect for
Either or.
the either one. It works for the cooks and servers there, especially the cooks, because fucking there's gonna be like one cook there at any time, and they gotta cook for everybody that comes through that door.
yeah.
I like Waffle House. I like it a lot. But the only thing that they don't make good is actual waffles.
That is also true.
I hate to be rude.
No, I love their chocolate chip waffles.
Okay, their chocolate
Look.
chip waffles are actually pretty good.
So they have that as the one leg up, is that compared to many places, they actually put stuff in the waffles, whereas your average IHOP just has a Belgian waffle, which is for goddamn babies. But it's still, in my taste, tastes better. But at the end of the day, I prefer pancakes for that smooth flavor.
I don't like
What?
pancakes. Pancakes are because of the way that they're made, they're just too thick. There's too
Yeah.
much pancake per bite, and it's just thick in your mouth, and I can't. I don't like the mouthfeel.
For what place? IHOP?
Pancakes, any of them. Waffles
Ah.
will always.
I don't know about that. That just sounds like you've never had a good pancake.
I've had a lot of pancakes in my time. I just don't like pancakes. Like the way that they're cooked, waffles are cooked to have like a bunch of extra air in them, and they are literally fried. Versus pancakes are not. cooked, like they're just functionally not cooked in the same way, and it results in a huge consistency difference that I can't.
I mean, if you cook them properly with self-raising flour, then they're not thick and stodgy.
You know, I've had a lot of people tell me ways that pancakes can be made better, and I've tried them. Don't usually make them better than waffles.
I'm not gonna finish that joke.
In any case, it is currently is currently 12 and a half hours into the day cycle of this particular day. You have 25.5 hours remaining on your mission. So you're about halfway through the day cycle now. The sun is high above you, beating down. The air is
Wow.
dry.
Like, we've got a pretty good base camp here. We have like, how do we want to scout this?
So we have about 2 days to cause as much chaos as possible.
2 of this planet's days, yeah.
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 Which is still a hell of a long time. That's 4 of our days.
Sure.
Yep. You've got 12 more hours of daylight, give or take, before 48 hours of darkness.
I have a question, and I don't think I have the equipment to necessarily do this, but do we know if any of the plants that we've seen on this planet have poisonous properties?
You haven't really checked.
I would like to try and do that if I have some time and the materials to do so.
Sure.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I
just-
necessarily do.
Easy.
What's up?
So
Yeah,
just
to be-
feed it to Acrocom.
I won't eat it, but he will definitely smoke it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking. I figure if we're gonna infiltrate a complex of people, maybe we could just poison all of them, or poison their food stores, or
Or their
you
water
know.
supply.
or their water supply, or put sugar in their promethium tanks, or something like that, just to start.
Actually, that's a good point. I'm gonna need you to murder some of those cute animals you found, Noelia.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, no complaints out of me. Like, I don't care.
I would volunteer to do it, but chasing down birds with an axe is not very easy, and I have a bolter. You won't achieve what you want with the bolter.
Listen, Noelia, if you can get me some specimens, I can start cooking up something. I'm sure I can figure something out.
Oh, I'm sure I can come up with a few things. You need living or
Nothing
dead
else?
specimens.
Well, living if we're going to be killing them.
Very well. Living
I
it
would
is.
like quite a few dead as soon as possible. Get them rotting.
Oh, I see that kind of thing. That's a better idea.
Very well.
Listen, if you don't have poison, make some.
Yeah, fair. Sorry, forget what I said. Flex, I think has the right of it. Go kill a bunch of stuff and and let's get some rotting meat going.
Very well. Sounds like a plan.
It's multifunctional. You can drop it in water, and you can put it in food.
Then, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead over to where I saw the nest of creatures.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll say it's along the southern edge of the mesa.
Okay. And yeah, let's see. I'm going to use the las gun because that's going to be easier. And yeah, I will let's see. Yeah, I'll go close enough for an easy shot so within the short range of the las gun, but not so close that they get startled by quick movement. And
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I just take out the las gun, salvo into the nest.
All right. Go ahead and give me a ballistics roll.
Okay, so that's +3 dice because salvo and short range. And fuck it, I'll say I'm aiming as well.
All right.
10 successes.
Yeah, you hose down half a dozen of them in the first volley. Their little bodies drop forlornly to the ground. Massive burns and ruptured flesh oozing blood onto the floor.
Okay.
I find it weird that this is happening 2 games in a row. Not weird. Ironic is the word I was looking for.
2 games in a row.
The Badger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that this is decidedly less illegal.
So yeah, I go over, pick up the carcasses, and if any attack me, I chain bayonet them and take their carcasses too.
Nah, many of them scatter as soon as you open fire.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah, you're
figured.
able to gather the bodies without much hassle.
Okay.
Excellent. Unfortunately, I have 0 medical knowledge, so whatever the fastest way there is to make them rotten, that would be ideal.
Well, I'm sure myself and Riven can figure something out there. Of course,
A time frame would be very useful.
do expect now that any potential goodwill from the nest is completely gone, and we might see attacks from it.
The handbook said that they are very low threat. I'm not very concerned. Worst case scenario, we
fair.
have a bunch of promethium we can pour in there.
That's fair. All right. Then, if you don't mind, Riven, helping me analyze these, let's see if we can get a time frame to get them to rot quickly.
I would prefer if you can find a way to package the remains in a way that we could easily drop them into food supplies while
Of
you're
course. Of course.
so that we're not carrying entire rotten carcasses with us.
Of course. I think this is just analysis at the moment.
If I could make a recommendation, if any of you are good at writing basic notes about gifts, I could wrap a few sets of cigars with poison in them and leave it and have a note that says from boss or whatever, cigars for everyone. They smoke it in their off time.
Well appreciated, Agril. I think we'll go with something a little bit less, finessed.
Whatever. I just wanted to be dramatic.
But yeah, I will make a Medicae roll, and Riven, if you would like to roll assist on that.
I want to see if
Gladly.
I can figure out that fucking survey, whatever thing that Riven's been messing with.
What?
The with the skulls and shit.
Oh, do you want to watch my videos? I mean, I've made quite a few of them.
I would like to see A, what I know, and B, what I can learn.
Give me a tech roll, Flux. Yeah, you understand the basics of how to operate the system.
Great, then I'm going to trade places with Riven while she does her shit. And be officially on watch for now.
Alright. Riven and Nualia.
Yep.
What exactly are the two of you doing?
Analyzing to figure out to see if we can get these to rot very quickly, and then ways to pack them up so we can subtly put them in water supplies and food supplies.
I don't suppose they happen to have like venom sacs or anything. Anything
That'd
particularly
be a
potent,
convenient aside.
right?
The Broadu themselves do not have any venomous capabilities,
Alright.
unfortunately.
That's fine.
But it's not difficult to realize that the best way to get it to rot would probably be to strip the skin, pile the offal and meat in a damp, dark corner, and leave it for a little while.
But what would the time frame on that be?
Also, do we have to deal with scavengers?
1 day cycle would probably give you a fairly putrid mess.
Okay.
Also, couldn't we theoretically poison them by putting fresh uncooked meat in their food supplies as well?
You can. It'll just take a lot longer, and we're trying to cause chaos very quickly.
Fair point.
We're trying to well, it would take a lot longer. They wouldn't necessarily die, but it would still fuck up a lot of them. Like
I mean,
they
that's
would
the
be
plan.
at lowered combat efficiency.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to
But
wait
yeah.
the entire time. I just
Yeah.
want to make it as bad as we can.
Yeah.
I
Because
mean,
my goal is
we're
actually I'll go over this in the meeting. I'm about to
Just-
call a meeting anyway.
just a
Okay.
real quick thing. We're only going to use this for one section, right? Like
Yeah, this
what-
is just one. This is just one of many things.
Yeah, so if we're only gonna use this for one of the places we have to mess with, why not just let it do the day cycle while we do the
While we
other
do-
places?
Yeah, while we do other objectives.
It's an
Yeah,
option,
that's
for sure.
this is stuff to bring up at the meeting, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I have something stupid I'm gonna bring up at the meeting.
Okay.
So, Ribbon,
Yes.
you wanted to investigate the local flora.
Yes,
In
I did.
handout, there is a local flora handout.
Fantastic. Ah, hello. Yep.
But with that Medicaid roll, I would say as you are investigating the plant life, making these notes, you notice that the flower buds on the Cardaius blood that dot the long ribbon leaves, they're yet to flower, but as you cut one open, it has a very strong smell of almonds.
whoa.
Interesting. Oh, that could be useful. All right. I can't test this on Agiltrom.
What? What
Uh,
can't you ask Agriltron?
Well, so I don't remember if it's cyanide or arsenic that smells like almonds, but
Cyanide.
It's very deadly either way.
yeah. Jeez, I'll have to remember that when we get back to
Cyanide.
I feel like there's a couple of
Yep.
people in the 37th who could benefit from this.
Arsenic actually tastes sweet.
Oh, interesting.
Cyanide smells of
Yeah.
almonds, and then that tastes sweet. It's weird.
Huh. Well.
Yeah, Romans used to use it as a sweetener, just sprinkle lead on their food.
Hmm. Okay.
I'm
Cool.
shocked.
Let's see. So that's worth noting. St. Cardaius' blood is my new best friend. Do I have any way to? Well, the only way to verify that would be to test on something. That's a later conversation. I'll figure that out later.
Yeah, I did
I mean,
some
there's
digging.
still a lot of-
Apparently, cyanogenic glycosides are pretty common in a lot of grass-like plants. Bamboo
Interesting.
shoots, for example.
Huh. Okay. Very cool.
Hmm.
I'll make a note of that somewhere.
Yeah, you'll
You know
just
what? I'll give you editing
you're-
access to the local flora document so you can add to it.
Okay. Oh, that'd be awesome.
There you go.
you'll just hear over the comm. Found anything?
Yeah, we've got a potential cyanide agent in the extremely common brown plants that we've been finding everywhere.
Noelia,
Yes.
status update on the animals?
Uh, it will take about a full day cycle to get them to rot, but we can definitely get all of this into a very dangerous, deadly, putrid, filthy pile.
Excellent. Get what you need set up on both of those and meet me in the tent.
Very well.
Copy that.
Agril, I'll need your help.
Great. You come on over.
Yep. Just, need your help. We need a damp, dark place, which means, carving out another hole. So,
He has like a big stupid grin on his face. Ah, yes! Another small cave! Wonderful!
indeed.
He breaks out the entrenching tool. He gets to work.
Me and Agril will set to work. Just, it's not gonna take long, I imagine, to make what we need for just like a pile of offal. But,
Nah, just a little cubby at the base of the cliff. It's not difficult.
yeah.
Ah,
But we do need
This'll-
to protect it, though.
just a real quick. Agrotrum would do this. Now that I thought about it, because he knows what it's used for. The whole to make it damp, he's gonna turn to Wally and say, could I recommend you turn around?"
Yes.
Oh,
I'll
man.
be over here. And
Yeah,
she'll
well,
just
that'll
walk
work, I
away.
Believe it or not, we have shame too. Rarely. And you know what follows. Anyway,
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Why, no. No, I do not. No, I'm good. I'm good.
None of the squad really bats an eye at this. It's pretty standard for troopers.
Sure.
Yeah, you gotta go to the bathroom somewhere.
that's not why he did it. That
Oh,
was
I know.
yeah.
Oh, I know. But yeah,
Anyway.
like, pissing out in the middle of the wilderness is, not that weird.
It's weird they're using it as a poison agent or as a disgusting factor. Disease
That'll
factor, I
certainly help it
guess.
rot.
Well, ironically,
It'll-
urine is sterile,
Yep.
but the ammonia and urea in it would certainly help the breakdown of muscle tissues.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I just like zoned out. Are you pissing on animal corpses to make me poison?
Yep.
Yes.
Because we needed a dark, damp space, so Agrotrom provided the damp.
Well then. Moving on.
But yeah, you throw a pile of dismembered bird-like corpses into this little dank hole that now smells quite strongly.
Hmm. My visor's on. I can't smell any of that.
Well, I guess Agrotrom could be the one to make sure it's all
Yeah.
packed out properly.
It's true.
That is a point. I know none of you are actually into this kind of stuff in real life, like going out and camping in the middle of the fucking wilderness, but someone's going to have to dig a latrine.
I mean, why dig a latrine? We now have a hole of corpses to water.
Oh,
If you really want to add that on top of it,
Noali
Be my
is
guest, yeah.
Noali is just gonna get to work digging the latrine. Like this this is fairly standard stuff. She really doesn't mind the labor.
On one hand, I was joking. On the other hand, I'm kind of not joking.
I was gonna say, admittedly, collectively, it'll make it pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
like, yeah, if you threw that into someone's water supply, it would be a big problem. If you want to be the ones to handle that, be my guest. I don't have any particular objections. You're free to
Look.
do whatever you like.
Look, all I'm saying is for the first question I have is, have any of you ever watched the cartoon Rocket Power?
yes.
I've never heard of it.
Avery?
Yeah.
Avery?
Because they're old.
Yeah.
The squad has a squid. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, but Also, Packard doesn't have a nose.
Packard is
That
not the squid.
Can't smell.
Packard is not the squid.
Yeah, I thought you were
Lisa
like
is
gonna make.
the squid.
Oh, I thought you were gonna suggest Feely, and that seemed unnecessarily mean.
No. Feely is baby, and we must protect baby.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, between the fact that she has power armor that can vent that crap out,
Yeah.
literally, and the fact that, you know, she's trained in fucking Medicaid, I
Yeah.
feel like Molly is actually the best person for that job.
She has actually done quite a few surgeries already in the course of this game as well. So yeah, out of
Yeah,
everybody, this is
If anyone's
probably
qualified.
this might like bug her a little bit, but nowhere near as much as it would anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you have enough doctoring and surgery experience, you've already had to do similar, though not, you know, on purpose having been rotted.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. Agrotron is gonna take the entrenching tool and basically just carve above the hole, latrine, and then in parentheses underneath it, poison manufacturing facility.
We're going to have to dig a latrine, except for those in power armor. You do your usual.
Yeah, I mean, you can technically just not.
I don't know.
I feel like the power armor has reclamation capabilities.
Sororitas and Astartes power armor are designed for long-term operation.
I say.
Yeah.
Should we take a break?
Yes.
Yep,
This would be a
we
good
will have
place.
our half-hour break. Anyone who feels like it, go grab a drink or food or bathroom, whatever you need. We'll be back in 30 minutes.
If you need to use the bathroom, Nawalia is digging a latrine. We need the shit. Come on, people.
I know we have a perfectly functional latrine. I even labeled it. Come on now.
A collective effort. We need you.
Fucking Christ.
I'm doing my part. All right.
Never did I see that. Never did I expect the day to come.
The obligatory
part of me-
fart joke has been made. I'm gonna go get my food now.
Part of me feels distinctly like the Mongolians did something like this at some point in their conquests.
Something just
Probably.
fucked up with our map as well. We have doubles.
Do you?
You
hang on.
fucked on you.
Yeah,
I
I think
see that. That's weird.
yeah. If you look on the stream, there's suddenly doubles. Can you
Yeah.
just change the map real quick and then change it back and see if that fixes it?
Yeah.
Like there's two maps.
Yeah, it overlaid the map on top of itself. Yep, that fixed it. Okay, we're good.
Weird.
Except
did
no,
not
it did
fix
not. It did not fix it. What the fuck? Okay,
Let me just.
it's okay. Our camp is out here now.
I'm curious what the grid bits are.
Camo netting. I'm assuming, right, Hugh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back. I'm gonna switch to downstairs.
Yeah.
If you have any extra wood from the from the stairs, you can just put a hole in the wood and put it over the poison hole. Call it a day.
I'm gonna reload the page and see if that fixes it. No, that has not fixed it. That's really weird. Okay, so something has definitely gone fucky. This is not just internet. Oh, it went away.
Okay, yeah. So there is a hidden fucking layer somewhere for some obscure goddamn reason.
And
that
it's
I
back
cannot
again.
Find. Yeah, I know. Give me a second.
Okay.
Gotta do a couple of things first.
But yeah, I will let you sort that out, and I'm gonna go get food.
On the list of things I never thought I'd ever do, let alone today, making a poison pit is not one of them. Not, nope.
Science, yo.
I feel like this is not the application of science that anyone that's ever taught me science would be very happy with.
Happy with no, but it is still science.
I'm amused that my science knowledge only comes in handy when the question is, how do I fuck shit up? Like, I
Yeah.
only know enough science to know how to break things.
Well, if you can do it, why not?
Because we call that war crimes. Like, I'm pretty sure what we're doing is a war crime.
Probably.
It should be if it isn't. So, what happened with the map?
I'm fiddling. Okay, there we go. Yeah, close enough.
This is actually like a rather short period of time to cause chaos. Especially given the amount of supplies we were given. I was expecting this to be a longer time frame.
I mean, I feel like it's probably a good thing that we're oversupplied for a change of pace.
Well, you've got to think about how you want to do damage. You've got to do as much as possible in a short amount of time. So
don't-
you could spend your time running from base to base, trying to infiltrate and do damage. You could let your enemies come to you by attacking their convoys. You could do a mix of the two. You could employ guerrilla tactics, split up your group, and harass rather than destroy.
Mm-hmm.
I already actually have that. So, my biggest irritation right now is that we don't know what's in every place. We don't know anything about T2, T3, or what's in T6. We do have a map on T6, which is nice. So,
Is our goal
personally,
just to like harass, or are we killing?
I don't care about lives, I care about making their lives difficult. So I've got a lot of things that I want to do. I'm just not sure the order that I wish to do them in, but I've got a decent idea at this point. Hugh, how much distance is between us and T5?
Let me bring you back to the tactical map so you can plan.
Mm. Okay.
T1 and T5, you say? By the road, about 160 odd kilometers.
Mm.
So about a 2-hour drive.
Remind me again. What are the limitations on this? Like, what can we not do?
I mean, you don't have any.
Oh, sweet. So we could just go in and kill everybody, or blow up the entire structure. Is this one of those ones where we can't blow up the structure?
You can blow anything up you want as long as you think you can survive it.
Sure.
Oh, Mason has accidentally dropped out of the stream chat.
Mm.
I don't know why Roll20's fucking up for me, but it is.
Mm.
I do not understand.
What's it doing?
The window looks really weird. Like it's not fitting correctly, and it's not giving me the ability to like move the map. Like it's not giving me all of the side options to the left that it was to like draw shit or get
You
the
might
measuring
have
tool.
moved your screen off your window off the side of your screen.
That's not the case. I've already checked that. I've also already checked the actual window zooming and
Refresh Roll20. It's
did
saying you're
that
having
3
connection issues.
times. Yeah, I've already done that like 3 times. It's yeah. I was waiting for the explanation to be you're a dumb bitch, but after reloading it, that was not the explanation, and I was sad.
I don't know then. I would have to see your screen.
Here we go. Right, so it looks like it's working except for the stuff to the left. And then when I zoom in on anything, it doesn't let me move anywhere else side to side. It lets me go up and down, but not side to side.
Okay, at the top right of your screen, next to the X, click the square button.
This one?
No, top of the window. Top right of the window, very top right.
Yes.
There's a square next to an X.
This one?
Above that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now hit it again.
Still not doing the thing. I've already done that.
You might have hit something in your settings.
I wasn't in my settings until this started being a bitch. No. Dice, timestamp, background chat beep. Why? Why does it work now?
Probably had to clear the cache.
Computers are so bitchy.
Yup. Technology can be a pain. There's a lot of moving parts that can go wrong.
Anyway. How fast does the Taurox go?
Off-road, 80 kilometers an hour. On-road, 100. At max.
So it'd take us about 5 hours to get over there. If we took a straight route, relatively straight route, no stops.
240. About 3 or 4 hours.
Cool. Cool. I know I didn't make the T5 map, but did you send me it so that I can make it?
T5, yeah.
Alrighty. Then I think this is gonna work decently. And then it'd take like another hour and a half to get to T1. T1B, rather.
Yeah, about that.
So we already said that the issue was in the blue circle was vehicles leaving Palladus. Are
Well,
they
not
also
necessarily leaving
that
Palladus.
base? Are they also leaving that base and just going who knows the fuck where?
Well, Palladus has been sending a lot of vehicles into the AO in general through different routes. The blue circle outlines an area where a lot of vehicles have been seen moving in all directions, but we can't trace where they came from or where some of them are going.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna hit up T5 first.
All right.
What is ME? Medical?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at T5. And on our map there's a tunnel entrance. Do we have any idea where the tunnel comes out?
Nope.
If tunnels were to come out, would it be reasonable to assume that there would be some kind of building there?
Presumably. If they were trying to disguise it in some fashion.
Good to know. I will be back.
Oh, that's interesting. In game chat, an optional rule someone dug out of the rulebook: combined attacks. Yeah, I thought you'd find it interesting. I would say yes. Looks like it's just you and me, Daravel. Now is when we implement our dastardly plan to destroy them all with an airstrike.
When you say that, but I'm still here.
Damn, we've been rumbled.
Yup.
Oh, we're not alone. Stevie Ray Drawn? Is that how you pronounce your name? I'm not sure. This is true, Daravel. I am waiting for the opportunity to drop a vortex missile on some of their allies.
I return.
Welcome.
Hello.
We're just discussing ways I intend to destroy you.
You're such a mean person to date.
Oh, wait until you guys get to see a vortex missile in action. It's hilarious.
How about we don't, though?
But where's the fun in that? Don't worry, I've got some pretty cool scenes planned out that I think you guys will enjoy.
Just because you're a psychopath doesn't mean you have to be so mean. But break free of the stereotype, Hugh.
Oh god, second and third edition was so fucking unbalanced. A whole squad of Marines with vortex grenades. That is terrible. Vortex weapons are hilarious 40k weapons of mass destruction that literally open a black hole into the warp where they impact.
Yeetus deletus.
Yeah.
If I were to DM you a thing, would you be able to look at it before humans come back?
Sure. We've only got a couple of minutes, but yeah. How on earth could you get away with dropping a rock? It seems a little bit overpowered, Daravel. Gotta say. Not just one Imperial vehicle, a Forge World vehicle, Daravel. So you had to pay extra. The Death Strike missile is a Forge World upgrade for a Chimera chassis.
I am back.
Welcome. You'll have to grab Mason. He dropped himself out by mistake.
Oh, okay. Hi, Mason. Ooh. And also, hi, Stevie Ray. Welcome in. Yeah, we are still on our break at the moment, but we should be ending pretty soon.
Oh, does
What?
it? Ah,
Manticore kit lets you construct either the Manticore or Deathstrike, huh? Nice.
that's not bad then. I never bothered to buy one. Like, I love artillery as a concept, but there's no point buying the models if we're being perfectly honest.
Yeah. About the only artillery you really need in the tabletop war game, from what I've seen, is the Basilisk.
Well, now you can get a Griffin, which just completely puts the Basilisk out to pasture. Unless you're on a really big board, a Griffin will be able to get anywhere and just drop endless fucking grenades on any squad you feel like.
Oh, fair. I remember in Dawn of War 2, using the Manticore was so much fun. I used that against, oh man, me and 4 other friends decided to do a free-for-all, control points style match. And we had 3 AI as well as the rest of us. It was all of us in a big circle immediately outside of our bases. Oh, it was terrible. It absolutely was. Dawn of War 2 could be fun. But no, Dawn of War 1 was better. But I was Imperial Guard. The guy next to me was Imperial Guard. And then the person next to, and then like going down the line, it was Tyrannid. I don't remember the other person's army. I don't think I ever saw the 4th person's army. And the 5th person was Space Marines.
Hello? Am I
Hi,
here now?
Mason.
Okay. I plugged in my ports wrong on my headset.
Oh, okay.
So I was talking to nothing.
And then I want to say like one of the AIs was a space marine, and I never saw the other two AIs. But I pretty much immediately got into battle with the person next to me. I took over the control point directly in front of my base, took over the power resource that was between me and the guy next to me, and then just set up a whole bunch of defenses as Imperial Guard, put up like 2 anti-infantry machine guns, so his infantry just could not approach me, and then built a manticore. Every time he tried to charge me, he'd be slowed down by the machine guns, and then I would just put a line of missiles down his troops. Eventually, it took 3 players all ganging up on me to push me back to my base, and not one of them could kill me. I took down a fucking land raider by myself with just base
Hammer of the
defenses.
Imperium. The guard will never break.
I
Not even
killed
the other guards, damn.
Yeah, I killed an entire Imperial Guard army, an entire Tyranid army, and a fucking Land Raider by myself. Not all at once, but I did it. It was back to back. I play the second game, Daredevil. I have the first one, but it barely works. But yes, I do play Company of Heroes too. I am an artillery commander at all times.
I bought those games. I played them and I realized I'm not super good at RTSs.
Yeah, and they're very complicated RTSs.
All
I
right,
like
then.
Total War, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So,
Give me 2 seconds and I can get you one more map.
all right, then. We'll give you an extra couple of minutes.
Yeah, I would love that, Daredevil. There actually is something that I've been wanting to do on Company of Heroes 2. There is a map where it's 2 teams of 4, and in between them is a river with 3 islands. There are 6 large bridges and 2 small infantry bridges. I want to make it to where the people cannot bring tanks onto the islands, and they have to take the infantry bridges to cross the islands, and have to use those to get to each other's bases, and just have an infantry and artillery match.
Neat.
If you like that style of gameplay, I think it's called Men of War.
I
Has
have
a fantastic 40k mod.
I played Men of War. The main reason I prefer Company of Heroes 2 over Men of War is I can train more troops in Company of Heroes 2. I do not like games where I am limited on the number of troops I can bring into a mission.
Do
Fair.
you want to know what my main issue with the game was?
Sure.
Real quick,
'Cause it's
Hugh, what
stupid.
is G?
Garage.
Go ahead, Mason.
I was gonna say, I can't move the camera with WASD without having to go in and change the
Really?
code of the game. No,
Wait.
you can't.
Really? In Company of Heroes 2?
Yeah,
I
as
could
far
have
as I remember.
I could have
You do-
sworn you
yeah.
could.
You do it by map pan or by the arrow keys.
That's weird. I could have sworn you did it with WASD.
Not in my memory. I know that
Huh.
none of so between Dawn of War, because they're all made by the same, but Dawn of War 1 and 2, you can't do it. You can't do it in Company Heroes 1, and I'm pretty sure you can't do it in Company Heroes 2. And it put me off so bad because my mouse is my right hand. It's why?
Yeah, as Daredevil says, you can remap the keybinds. Why not just do that.
So you can, but for those games, it's Dawn of War specifically. You have to fuck around with it pretty hard to do that. Like
That is fair.
You can't just up and do it. And I don't want to put in. I'm too I'm too lazy to do that, and then just that design like thing there is just annoying. It's annoying enough to me that I just don't want to deal with it. I don't
That's
like
fair.
the genre as much, and then it's also just not as accessible for me.
That's fair.
Let's be sure you guys aren't waiting on me, right?
No.
No, wait, Alex.
Oh, okay. Yep, totally fine.
This crap.
Avery.
Hello. Yes.
Boop.
Oh God. Oh God. I've been moved. Ugh. Ugh. Blood splurting everywhere. Ugh.
A
You're the
truly
See-
violent booping.
See, Daredevil? This is what happens when you act up in my chat. You get a booping.
Who let 7042 into the common area?
All right, it's time to break out the funny memory syringe.
And I can't wait to get that finished for y'all. I don't know why my brain is like, we've already made it in our head. We don't need to write it down.
Alright then. So, we return from our break. When we last left off, you guys were planning strategies after having set up your camp.
We were fucking around. Now it's time to find out.
Root beer. Excuse me. Thank you, Stevie. So yeah,
Alright.
Yes, I have called everyone into my office.
right, the back of the Taurox.
Silence ho, it's an office.
It's a very metallic office in a Torox.
Yeah, I called Riven and Nawalia and Tool. Oh, I forgot to put the north, south, east, and west on the other thing. Fuck.
Aggro
Give me like
doesn't
2
get
seconds,
like
Hugh, and I'll
good
get you the new version.
Oh my god. Okay.
No, I can still roleplay while doing this. I
Okay,
just need
fair.
to draw a little compass on the thing. Everything else is done. Not that I'm pretty bad, but I'm not that bad.
Alright then, yeah, you gather in the tent at the rear of the Taurox. It's about as large as the Taurox's passenger compartment, but you can actually stand up comfortably in this. I assume you've arrayed a table, a collapsible table, a couple of fold-out chairs.
Yes. Yeah. That's very, yeah. You know, why not make it comfy?
We're the Imperium and we don't do anything comfy.
Listen, if you can't be,
Comfy for me, not
you're
for
not
thee.
murdering them correctly.
Yeah, fair point. Well, I mean, that's why we take their skulls and make them into, something useful. Anyway.
Alright. Yeah, so Flux will start out with the area of operation map spread out.
Alright. You should all
As
have
well
the
as
handout for that.
T4 and T6 maps.
Yep. I'm just
Ayo.
uploading the T4 one now.
Tifo T6.
Yeah,
Alright.
T4 will be uploaded in a sec.
I also didn't have time to draw the T5, but I want to put that up there too.
There we go.
Yeah, if you can upload your temporary T5, and I'll make a redraw of it for next week. That would be helpful.
I'll go and dig it up.
Thank
It's
you.
shit, I warn you guys. Like, and I'm not being modest on this, it's legitimately bad.
It's not that
I
bad.
I reserve
Avery, what
judgment.
is this hypocrisy?
I
Oh, not
I'm with
Avery,
you on this
Alex.
one.
Fuck.
We're very different people. I don't know why you keep confusing us.
It's because we're both
It's
sarcastic.
A names.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
Look, if it's any consolation, there's 2 cooks at my work. One's name is Marcus. The other one's name's Keith. I end up calling Keith Marcus all the time.
If it makes you feel any better, I was looking at the T4 map and thought warehouse was warechouse for a second.
I mean, none of these things make me
I'm
feel any
sorry.
better.
Okay, how
I'm
about
sorry,
like
I was writing quickly.
how about a quarter? Will that do it?
I mean,
You should all have editing permission so you can write notes in the description section.
okay.
Cool.
Oh, sweet.
All right,
Let me just
so
make all of these pop out windows.
Just remember, only one of you write notes at a time, because whoever saves last will overwrite whatever was put by someone else.
Right.
I'm taking all of my notes in a different window, just so y'all know.
Okay.
Pick.
I'll make notes on T6.
Okay. So, of what we know, T1B is primarily vehicles and anti-air. We have no idea what's at T2 and T3. T4 is an ammunition stockpile, at least that's what we think. T5 is food and medical supplies. T6, the other closest one to us, has another unknown stockpile. That being said, we also have a very used road. Given that stuff is going to be happening in the next few days, we'll be making a bit of a circular route. We'll start by verifying what's in T4, and if it is ammunition, what's the word? Not jury rigging, sabotaging, that's the
I
word.
thought we were just gonna blow it to hell.
No, we're sabotaging as much as possible, and then getting out without being seen.
Could we
From there,
evacuate
we'll
the
circle.
bio?
No. From there, we'll circle around to T5. T5 houses food and medical supplies. That's where we'll be using our poison.
I would say, obviously, for the food, the poison works, but commandeering as much of the medical supplies as possible would be very helpful, both now and in the far future.
Feel free to empty out your extra ammo bag and shove medical supplies in it. Anything that we can't take with us, we're getting rid of or fucking with.
You've got it.
Mm-hmm.
That will be one round trip. We'll take the Torox out, start as soon as possible for T4, possibly see if we can strap whatever bits of the animal remains on the outside of the Torox to keep putrefying on our way.
Thank you for the follow.
Unless you have anything to add to that effort, Riven.
In terms of
We're going to be poisoning as much of the food supply as we can with
right,
the
of
dead
course.
animal carcasses. If there's an easier way to do that that doesn't require us having a pit of hell.
Well, so in the research that I've done, I found that Saint Cardaius' blood may have cyanide properties. The problem is I don't really have any way to test that. So
There's a very easy way to test that, actually.
yeah, but we don't have any spare humans.
We don't need humans.
Fair point.
We have an entire nest of creatures. We just need to test the specific properties of the supposed cyanide.
Well, that'll certainly work if we need to. I think I'd rather have a human specimen, but I don't imagine we'll be able to kidnap anyone off of any of these roads.
Not necessarily. I'm sure there are patrols that go out. I'm sure we could capture one of them.
Given the choice, I'd rather test it on a person, but if we have to, then we do have some animals.
Make as much of it as you can. If we can snag someone while we're in T4, we might be able to test it on a person. If not, we'll do an animal test here before we go.
I was also thinking it might be useful if if I can get the compound in a way where it could be placed in syringes. We could either swap out medical supplies with cyanide, or we could use it as a method to inject people while we go through it, provided it's effective.
Using it,
That would take.
you know, it would take time to replace the medical supplies. It's true, but if we have that time, and then we're willing to cause a bit of loud chaos, then
Is that our specialty?
it is. But we don't necessarily look to kill people. We just injure as many of them as we can, and then they take care of themselves.
I'm not concerned with casualties. I want to fuck up as much as possible so that when the cavalry comes in 2 days, that's when this gets discovered.
That is fair.
So while creative, that is not going to be our priority for this mission.
Understandable.
We have 2 days, and we have 2 locations that have unknown supplies or people. If we can take care of the ammunition and food as soon as possible, we could then possibly take the night to scout out T2 and T3 and figure out what's going on there exactly. Get the lay of the land.
With T1 being a vehicle hub, do we plan to hit that at all?
Flux will point at the blue circle. This is where we have the most amount of vehicle traffic, at least aside from the main road.
Mm-hmm.
If we do something there, I would like to know what's going on in T2 and T3 first, and I would like that to be our last stop, all things considered.
That's fair.
It's the farthest from our base, and it is the most difficult to get in and out of without being seen.
That is fair. Plus, if we do if we do decide that causing a panic at one of these locations is a good idea, we may get them to pull away some of the vehicle traffic from that area and make entering it a little bit easier.
Precisely. So, that being said, I would like to start by approaching T4. That will be our first stop, and we will not wait for the sun to go down. We'll be leaving as soon as we can.
Very well.
Sounds good.
From there, we're going to go to T5 straight away.
Though,
So we need to have the poisons ready. On our way back, I want to hit T6 and confirm what's there.
I will say the offal will not be ready for a full day cycle.
I understand. If we
I'll
can get the poison ready before then, we'll use that.
I'll see what I can do.
Sounds like a plan. I will assist with that as well to help speed that up.
I suppose if we could send out Agrotrom to... thinking we could either send out Agrotrom and maybe Packard to either see if they could grab someone off the road, or failing that, get us a live specimen somewhere.
There are still creatures from the nest left alive. We could leave a bit of food out, sprinkled with the arsenic in there.
I suppose it's worth a shot.
If you'll turn your attention to T4,
Yes.
you'll see that it's rather heavily fortified. One of the roads to the north comes around a mesa. However, you'll also see that there's marked out a tunnel entrance. I wonder if we got close enough with the Torox, could you send servo skulls inside? or
Certainly.
even just give it a rote order to go into the tunnel without being seen.
I could
On the
certainly do
exit and then find us.
that. Absolutely.
If we can use the tunnel entrances or the mesa, though the tunnel entrances would be farther, they might be safer to get in. Alternatively, we can rappel down from the mesa. That'll get us close to the warehouses and we can mess with stuff there. Packard and I did manage to rig up some climbing gear, but we'll only be able to get one person at a time up the grapple gun.
Hmm.
So, if we can be sneaky, the mesa might work. If we can't, and we want more people, the tunnels.
For what it's worth, I think the tunnels is probably a better bet. The more people we can get on board, the better.
On the one hand, I agree with you. On the other, I'd like to maybe split up two groups. Packard and I could possibly take the mesa. Noalia can take a second group through the tunnels.
I mean, I'm pretty sneaky if you want to take me up the mesa. Small target, hard to see.
I could definitely take a group through the tunnel, though I will say that anything I do is very unlikely to be quiet.
Perhaps Agril can lead that then.
Very well.
Anyone that is not comfortable with their ability to stealth their way through,
That would be me.
perhaps we use the tunnels as a distraction.
More than happy to do that.
Sounds like a good idea.
Nothing else. I think we can use the Torox as a mobile base, how we plan to. However, it's a bit of an issue taking the long-range communications. Hugh, out of character, we figured out that we could set up the long-range Vox in the Torox, even though it's not in the Torox, if enough people are out of the Torox.
Yeah,
Cool.
it'll take up the space of 2 people.
We can take the long range Vox, set it up so that you have Feely with you and your servo skulls. You can watch the operation from a safe distance away, possibly on the other side of the mesa, and work the Vox to coordinate between the two teams.
Certainly do that.
Flux will then turn to Noalia. Tell me how it won't work.
Describe one more time. Just brief summary.
We bring the Torox with the long-range Vox strapped to the outside. We hit the northern side of the mesa and hide the Torox to that northern area. From there, we split into two teams. Riven will use the servo skulls will use a servo skull to enter the city, enter the tunnel bit, and then send it to find the entrance to the tunnel. One team will then go to the tunnel entrance, make their way inside. If stealth doesn't work, they'll provide a distraction before retreating. Second team will come down from the mesa, closer to the warehouses. They'll approach from above, climb down, enter the warehouses, and sabotage as much as possible, hopefully with help from the tunnel team.
The main issue that I can see is that servo skulls are not very sneaky. They are not small. They stick out like a sore thumb, and so far, it seems the militia forces do not use them. Which means that even seeing one is an immediate red flag. It also would have to get from the mesa to the tunnel entrance, and servo skulls are slow. They are not fast-moving things. They are more routinely used for maintenance and recording than anything else. Some are used for scouting, absolutely, but I do not think that sneaking a servo skull through the enemy base is going to be particularly effective.
Do you think we'd be able to find the tunnel entrance if we scouted on our way there?
I think so.
I think it's
If-
safe to say that if we approach from the southern direction, we might be able to find it, just given the location.
I would take a bet and say that it probably comes out somewhere on the mesa. But then again, that is extremely obvious. So I'm more inclined to go with your gut on that.
We can approach from the south, circle around toward the mesa if we don't find it, and just come from above and hope everything works.
As well, for the Vox, all of our earpieces are going to be well within range, anywhere within this base. The Torox's Vox is going to be a dead giveaway for it. It will have to remain off until such time as Plan B possibly needs to be enacted.
That would be true if we didn't have scramblers.
The scramblers do not hide the signal. Remember that.
They don't, but they also require someone to be on the signal. We can always check before using any specific frequency.
No, they can still tell that there are signals going out. It's not that someone has to be...
Is there... Sorry. I was operating under the assumption there isn't a form of, like, Vox radar or whatever.
If anyone, it's a radio, so if anyone has a radio attuned to the same frequency that you're transmitting on, they will hear it. And if they're cycling through channels, they will notice that there is a signal eventually, as long as you're in range.
And typically, enemy bases, their comms are going to be checking the signals just in case.
Fair enough. Okay.
But
So short-range communication would work, though.
short-range
No,
communication... Short-range communication ultimately would still be for Plan B. But it would work, and we would not necessarily have to give away the location of the Torox.
Understandable. I'd still like to take the long-range box just in case. That way
Absolutely.
we can maneuver the Torox if possible.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll take the belt unit.
Um,
Anyone else can have a bead.
I think the main question that I have is if we are using the tunnel entrance as a distraction, am I allowed to blow up the artillery emplacement?
I have some things that might come in handy for that.
Excellent.
Though, if we were to be doing that, I don't like the idea of them knowing we have people on the inside. If we do want to create that big of a distraction, I might have you take the Torox around, launch an attack from the front.
I think that is a very quick way to get the Torox destroyed.
I agree with that entirely. However, I don't want them checking their ammo. not before they actually need to use it.
That is fair.
And I don't like the idea of telling you to assault the front without that in the Torox.
Bless you, Agril.
Gesundheit.
Yes. I was injecting a wasp.
It's quite dusty. Don't worry about it. Well,
Suppose we'll have to go for stealth and hope that if the tunnel team does get caught, they'll assume that that's the only team that tried.
yes. The team from the Mesa could still easily work their way in and sabotage whatever may be in the warehouses. If we can sabotage whatever is in the garage, then that would also be extremely helpful. Out of character, what is the C? Do we know?
That's an excellent
Command
question.
structure.
Command
of some
structure,
kind.
okay. And the H is helipad?
Yep.
Okay.
Just given scale, how many vehicles would be in that garage?
Judging by the size of the image you were given, it could hold at least 10 vehicles.
What are the most common vehicles that we've seen the enemy using?
Large trucks, salamander scout car vehicles, and light tanks. In descending order of commonality.
Riven, I'm going to want you to stay with the Torox. Lisa, I'm going to want you to go with the tunnel crew. If you do get in, you're going to try and commandeer a vehicle.
Are we going to try and commandeer a tank?
Flux is just going to give a bit of a shrug. If one just so happens to be there and a tank driver just so happens to know how to get it.
Well, let us hope that if there is one, it will be fueled and ready to go.
I will say the convoy that is due to head to Campisium at the start of the next day cycle has a tank at the head of its convoy.
What do we know about the convoy?
It
Because I
consists,
forgot you'd even mentioned there was one.
yep, a regular convoy every 72 hours travels from Apissum Palladus to Campisium via the green route on the AO map. It consists of 2 large heavy-duty transports carrying massive containers, a pair of armored personnel carriers, and a light tank at the head.
If we do wish at...
Change of plans. It will take us... Hugh, can you get me back to the other map?
The AO map is available.
It is, but
Can't
not with
measure on it,
Aurora.
unfortunately.
Oh, that's fair.
That should take us half an hour to get there, right?
Yeah, though it is right on the crossroads, and the convoy passes through T4.
No, totally fair, totally fair. What I'm saying is we still have 12 hours.
Indeed, you do.
Which means we could easily sabotage some stuff and either die or succeed. Because that'll just take us probably a few hours, in all honesty, before we're either dead or out. And then make our way over here with some landmines.
I mean, I like those odds. Either we
Then
succeed or
we
we
can-
die.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point of sending us out here.
As well.
There is a
well,
chance that if your attack on T4 is noticed, they will cancel the convoy,
Also true.
as it is directly on their route.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said it would take us about 2 hours to get here?
Thereabouts. Well, about 3.
3.
Give
So-
me a leadership roll quickly, Flux.
That thing that I am not good at. I'm gonna like have to totally replan how I tier up my character now that you made me have this job. No,
3
genuinely,
isn't
I'm
bad.
gonna be putting skill points in different things now that I meant to.
Oh, yeah.
Because fuck
You could intercept the convoy before it arrives at T4, and the subsequent explosions and chaos would certainly lure troops away from Tier 4.
Hmm.
If you're quick.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
That's a very angry cat.
What the
I thought
fuck?
that was a baby for a second. I was like, what the
Me
fuck?
too.
I'll be right back.
who
What
kicked
the
the baby?
Okay, Ike, kick the baby.
1 second.
All right.
So the other thing, Flux, was that if you decided you didn't want this job anymore, I had an idea, but I think we could talk about
I'm
that.
curious
offline.
about your idea.
All right.
Oh,
we'll talk about that
potential
later.
character idea. I'm sorry. No, I actually really enjoy this. I just
Oh,
didn't
okay.
expect it.
Oh, all right.
Hey, I'm kind of happy because like this frees me up to take a whole shit ton of faith feats. Because there's a lot of those that can help the squad.
I really
That is
like
true.
the character drama shit that goes around behind this. Like, you know, our characters really play off of each other with this setup, and I'm down. Okay, no, that changes things then. Screw that. We're gonna commandeer a tank.
That's more like it.
Okay. Tank convoy. 2 heavy trucks, light tank, and armored cars on the front and back. I assume 1 armored car on the front and 1 on the back.
Yep.
Doing some quick math. Generally speaking, they would be about 6 to 7 feet long with some distance between them on a buffer.
A bit closer to 9 or 10 feet long, but yeah.
9 or 10? Okay.
And the trucks themselves would be 16 feet. They are big. You assume they're carrying supplies, but no one has actually been able to have a look.
How big is a tank?
I can actually get you one to scale for your camp and show you.
No. I
well,
mean feet. This is a very specific. I'm asking for a specific reason.
Let me check.
Because I'm asking because of how far apart I need to spread out my landmines.
16 feet. Okay, the trucks would be bigger then. Let me get the measurement for those. 5 meters for the tank, 9 meters for the trailer, and another 6 for the cab. So 12 total meters for the trucks. That's about 40 feet.
Jesus. For both of them?
Yeah.
And then 9 each for the armored cars.
About that, yeah.
Excellent. Well, let's see. I have 4 anti-vehicle landmines
Sick.
and 2 cars to demolish. Okay. If I were to hazard a guess, how many people would be housed in the armored cars and tank?
In the cars, probably about 2 to 6. In the
Okay.
tank, 3 to 5.
And I assume I could not use an anti-vehicle landmine on a tank and expect to drive it away.
Depends on the
Depends.
tank.
Most anti-vehicle tanks aren't intended to necessarily destroy, as they are pressure sensitive. They tend to go off under a track and they disable. You would have to repair the track, but it would otherwise be serviceable.
With my tech knowledge, would I be able to estimate how much time it would take to repair a standard kind of breaking of that sort?
Give me a tech roll.
The main issue with
Can I roll our 2 glory, fam? Or actually, I'll just fucking reroll. Because I've got a wrath.
yeah,
8 successes. Depending how bad it was, you would probably have to replace at least 2 running wheels, weld in a bit of new frame. If you didn't bother to patch up the armor and just removed what was damaged, you could probably get it done in about an hour.
Assuming I had the parts.
Most tanks tend to come with spares for just such an eventuality.
and I'm assuming that you're saying all of this, that you're musing about all of this out loud.
Yeah. Nualia, say I were to blow up a tank. Would you climb in it and kill everyone for me?
If the tank was not immediately firing upon me, yes. You could definitely disable the tank. We would need to be close enough that we could get to the tank without it blowing us up in response.
That's why we're gonna get to the road before the convoy ever does. We'll set up landmines, anti-vehicle landmines, at enough of a distance that when they... Actually, I do have one more question about the landmines. Can I set them to be remotely detonated?
With a bit of jury rigging, probably. You've got some spare remote detonators.
We do.
A little tiny cap of plastic explosive and a remote detonator on the top of a mine will probably set it off. But also revise the length of the armored cars. 9 feet is far too short. I estimated that badly.
Okay, well,
Should be about as long as the tank.
Okay. But I'm not going to actually have to give you these numbers again, but it's doable, is what I'm hearing, and it's not going to be too wide of a distance that we're not going to be able to, like, take care of both of them.
No, I'd say it's definitely doable.
Alright. Riven, you're going to help me jury rig these landmines. We'll make them remotely detonated. Space them
Gladly.
apart so that we can take out, hopefully, the tank and armored cars in one go. I'm going to be handing out, what am I going to be handing out? Specifically, frag grenades. Those work with a larger area of effect, correct?
Yeah, but they're not so great against armor.
Yeah, it's the crack
That's
grenades.
entirely fair. Cool. And, we'll give the twins the missile launcher. Nualia, you'll focus on cleaning out the tank. The twins will back you up with the missile launcher, and Lanewald will be overseeing them. The rest of us will focus on the other 2 vehicles that are We'll focus on the other vehicles.
How damaged do you want the insides?
I want it drivable. We're going to be driving it out of there and going to T4.
I will do my best. I will be sure not to fire the
Actually-
Spitfire into it.
Actually, it'd be nice if we could get it to come back to our base. I'd still like to get things done with T4 as quietly as possible. So if we can get it to...
If we cause a ruckus on the road, we wish to use the tank to get into T4, we would have to do so immediately. We could say that that the rest of the convoy was destroyed, and we were the only survivors, and they were the closest base.
Alternatively, we can use the distraction to get 2 people in.
Indeed. Have 2 people...
How would you feel about taking command of the team once we get the landmine set up? I can show you how the remote detonators work.
I'm
And
fine.
then Packard and I can take the Torox to T4. Use the distraction to get on the warehouse.
I'm fine with that.
In fact, Riven,
Yep.
you're not what I would consider the most fighty person.
That's
How do you feel about
accurate. Sorry, say again?
How do you feel about infiltration? 2 of us fucking up ammunition will be better than 1.
I'm glad to help, for sure. I suppose I can leave my servo arm back at base if necessary.
You might need it. We're going to be climbing down from the mesa still.
Sure.
Okay. Riven will drive. I'll go with her. Packard can come to back us up. You'll have the rest of the squad. Noelia.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll come with you and set the landmines. You'll have the frag and crack missiles with the missile launcher.
All right. Let's see. Nualia is going to actually no, sorry, you've already got Chris and Risa on missile launcher duty. That's right.
Lisa, do you know how to repair a tank?
Yeah, had to go through it in boot. Done it a few times in the field. Nothing major, but what do you need?
So you would be able to fix the tank if the wheels had an issue because of the landmines.
I could probably patch the tracks up a bit, yeah. Depends how bad it's roughed up.
I mean, it's not like we're starting out with a tank, so it's only better if we get one just in case. If nothing else, we're not blowing up the supply trucks. We can pull them off to the side. Designate 3 drivers. Lisa will take the tank, so that leaves 2. It'd be nice if we can get at least one of those trucks back to our base. Get a full inventory of what's in it. If nothing else, get a spot check inventory, though. Riven, could you rig up one of the servo skulls to stay with Nualia? Possibly take a few verbal commands?
Sure, I can make that work.
Hugh, do verbal commands work with servo skulls?
Yeah, usually.
Imagine if they're simple and the server skull can actually do it.
If the servo skull can stay by Nualia and then at least record what it sees.
Oh, yeah, they're already set to do that.
Hugh.
So she could send it in to look in the truck and at least get a broad overview of what's in there if we can't take the trucks with us.
As long as someone's at the cooptator, it should be able to see anything that's in there.
Hugh, are explosions really noticeable from 50 kilometers away?
Depends how big the explosion is. A landmine, probably not.
Okay.
A big chunk of C4, yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out what you were going to ask that started with our explosions. ...
Now, that being said, the sound of an explosion travels quite far.
That's what I meant. Is just everything to do
Uh,
with an explosion, visual and sound.
How far can you hear an explosion? Let's see if Google can tell us.
You know, your
Okay.
government must be pretty concerned.
Uh,
Imagine all the shit he's had to look up for us over the last couple
I
months.
still think how much blood is in a baby probably topped it.
So, how much blood is in a baby?
Enough to make some really fun chaos rituals.
Oh,
It's,
sure.
it's
Fair.
about 1.5 liters, give or take, for a
Oh, okay.
3-month-old baby.
Well, I guess that's good to know. Somewhat.
Oh, yeah.
It's for science.
Google. You don't have very... Okay. Artillery can be heard detonating from approximately 180 miles, according to reports in World War II. So if that's fairly old-fashioned artillery, I would say, yeah, a landmine would be significantly less, probably half that. Let's see. So yeah, about 150 kilometers, you could potentially hear a cannon from a tank shell.
Okay. Well, if it'd be
Another-
the landmine going off would be slightly muffled by the tank being on top of it, but that is slightly.
Yeah, I feel like the landmine wouldn't propagate as far, but still be quite loud.
It'd probably be a difference between like 150 kilometers and 125 kilometers. Like, as far as we're concerned, it's gonna be heard by the base.
Which is fun, because that's a distraction in of itself if you even can't get the tank moving.
Mm-hmm.
In that case... Shit, I had a question that was relevant to this. Oh, how tall is the mesa to the top of that building, Hugh?
From the mesa to the top, probably about 7 or 8 meters.
And how well do the Camilla lines work in daylight?
Not very. If you're in shadow, then they're fine, but if you're not, then no bonus.
Let's say you were rappelling down a mesa. I assume there'd be some shadow.
I would say you might be able to get it then, depending on where the sun is.
Well, given we're You said it's coming in the morning?
The convoy, yeah.
Look,
You said 12 hours we have.
Yep. Until night.
I thought you said until the convoy comes.
No, the convoy comes at the beginning of the next day cycle.
Okay.
You have 12 hours left in the current day cycle, then the night cycle.
and it's 24 hours for
Yep.
for each cycle. Okay.
Yep.
So we'd be waiting 36 hours.
Yeah, there's a reason people say that Earth has a 24-hour day-night cycle.
Yeah.
Because the two are distinct.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what we'll do. Riven and I, and Lisa will take the Torox and Servo Skulls and scout T2 and T3. At least T2, if we can.
Alright.
Good.
We will attempt to return by nightfall. At that time, Noalia, if you can have the poison ready.
Absolutely.
We'll see if we can make a run by T5.
By that
On our
time,
way back from
yes.
there, we will then no. We can return, take a bit of time to rest, regroup, and then set up for the convoy in the morning.
All right. Out of character, I think we're just way overthinking this. Look, Command told us to cause as much chaos and havoc as possible. All we need to do is cut south, go to Hemvar, and just assassinate the leader of the entire rebellion. I mean, that's chaos right there.
That would certainly do the job.
I'll do it.
Might be an interesting challenge, but that would certainly achieve your objective.
Isn't there that sigil that makes people go nuts? Can we use chaos?
There are quite a few of them.
Let's not.
Oh, all right.
I've already been murdered by the Inquisition once. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fair point.
Yeah, if we actually did that, like, even if we successfully ended this rebellion overnight, like, that's another direct order that we have disobeyed. Like, that's the entire squad on the firing line.
I mean, did anyone tell us explicitly not to use chaos symbols to?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, the Imperium's pretty insistent on that.
Well, yes and no.
Some Inquisitors will use it, but this one does not strike me as that type.
So,
Well,
here's the
even-
thing. The
Even those
Imperium...
who are considered, radical.
The Imperium is insistent when they tell you about it. But
Yeah.
they operate on a need-to-know basis, and we don't need to know.
So no one. So, okay, that's fine. This is one thought, but I was gonna say, if there's a symbol that can make an entire town go crazy and kill each other, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's what.
To be fair,
Sacrifice a couple people.
it was not the symbol that made them go nuts. It was the whole blood ritual that made it go nuts. But yeah.
Well, Alex could write you a very lovely blood ritual. Flux doesn't know that. So I'm gonna go with no.
I will say that Agrotrum will not abide this if that even gets talked about.
Well,
Although he will abide saying, "Hey, Agrotrum, go kill the leader of the rebellion." He will just leave and start walking in.
He's never gonna try and take the torch. Just okay. Gets there in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You underestimate the speed of small legs.
Okay, a week and a half.
I mean, I feel like that was overestimating the speed of small legs.
all right then. So, who is going scouting?
Do. Lanewald, Lisa, Riven, and I.
All right.
Everyone else was at the meeting. Work on preparing your equipment.
Yep, I am working on the poison, so I am gathering a whole fuck ton of the plant, and pretty much like commandeering everybody I can to do that as well.
When this is over, when we conquer the planet, we're gonna start a meth lab.
You joke, but they might actually do it.
I don't.
Noalia, give me a
Scholar?
Give me a Medicaid roll,
Okay.
and how well you do on that will determine how many bonuses you get to a subsequent survival roll. Because you're
Okay.
trying to manufacture a poison from these plants, but you've got to jury rig the equipment to do it with.
Okay. I am gonna. I've still got both of my wraths. I'm gonna re-roll that, especially since I know the wrath die is secure.
I have
Go
a
for it.
question.
Yeah.
Would this be considered a tactically sound plan?
Sure. I will allow that.
Thank
You may
you.
regain 1 wrath. Alright, 7 successes. Yeah. I'd say you can add +2 to your survival roll.
Okay. Not much, but I will take it. Let's see. Would the group mind if I use the 2 glory for the survival roll as well?
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. And then, 3 of those dice have no results. One of them is the wrath die. Rerolling the wrath die has typically been pretty bad for me.
Do you risk it for a biscuit?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
Do it, nerd.
Well,
I mean,
with that
considering we
kind
have
of a
20 minutes.
challenge.
Yeah, we've got 20 minutes left. Do it, nerd.
Well,
You dumb motherfucker. Why would you listen to him?
So, Nualia, using your fairly extensive medical knowledge, you're pretty sure you could distill some of the cyanotic elements from the buds of this flower, and you go around gathering them up. They pop quite easily off the long ribbon-like leaves of the St. Cardaius blood dotted about. But you do realize that you're going to have to use up a fair bit of everyone's water rations to boil the chemicals out of these buds.
how often does it rain on this planet?
Never.
It doesn't.
Well, I mean, if we need to, there is sources of water to our south.
Am I still am I still around?
Not after this
Or
long.
have we left?
Not
I
after
would
this
say
long.
you have already left by this point.
Fair. Then I'm not gonna give input.
The Torok's rumbling away into the distance.
So I have determined that I have not done it yet.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna use my Vox bead. Because we should still be
Yeah.
out
they're
of
still
range of these cities and encampments. Yeah, I'll use the Vox bead and say, Flux, I have good news and bad news. The good news is I can make enough poison for the job. The bad news is I'm going to have to use up most of our water to do it.
Can I counter that bad news with some good news?
Sure.
We're about to raid a food supply bank.
That's fair. Very well. Then, I shall take that as you giving your blessing on preparing the poison.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And, yep, I set to work.
Alright then. It's tedious work, Nualia, but you are able to produce a full canteen's worth of what you believe is fairly concentrated cyanide.
A full fucking canteen. That's a hell of a lot of cyanide. How much cyanide is required to kill a whole adult being?
Very, very
About
little.
1 drop at this
Yup.
concentration.
Yeah, cyanide is extremely poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cardaius blood grows in abundance.
Okay, so
Yep.
here's my question. What the
We've
fuck
had-
was that old lady cooking?
Dinner?
Yeah. Some.
No, she was making something with the Cardaius blood flowers.
She was
Right,
making
exactly.
bread.
Well, she wasn't making it with the flowers. She was making it with the sap from the leaves.
What she was doing was making edibles.
Also, the good news here is that we know this for the future now. So we have
Yes.
plentiful sources of cyanide on this planet.
Yes.
Planet is such a shithole.
And
Only when the leaves are budding.
and also, Hugh, tell me I am wrong about her making edibles.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're not.
Out of character. Since she's already dead and it won't change anything, what was she making?
So I mildly combined two common British plants that occur, at least in terms of chemical effect, for the St. Cardaius blood. One being apples, hence the cyanide, and the other being nightshade, which is was used as a sedative
nightshades.
and a dream aid
Yeah,
in
those are
very,
things you can do
very,
with
very
nightshade.
mild doses. In strong doses, it will kill you outright.
Yeah.
So she was making sleepy time bread?
Yeah, pretty much.
That is a way to refer to it.
Not sure if it's the word she would use, but yeah. But yeah, the Taurox rattles away, carrying Flux, Lamewald, and Riven, with, I assume, Lacer at the helm.
Yes. My
They
only
said,
directions are we just want to get within scouting range with the servo skulls of T2
Alright then.
and drive stealthily.
Don't fuck it up.
Alright, so you'll be
Look like a filter with your name on it. I mean, what?
you'll be taking a slightly slower ride then, if you want to avoid being noticed.
Hey, Kanuta, you have a bolt pistol, right?
Say what?
Bolt pistol too, right?
Yep.
Can you screenshot the stats for that? Because I've just realized I forgot to put any of the stats in for the bolt pistol or chainsword.
Yes. I can do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you want
Sorry.
to take it slow and avoid kicking up a huge dust cloud, it's going to take you about 6 hours to reach T2.
You know, kill anyone that we find on the road. We do have a big fucking Taurox. If someone's just walking around, we can run them down.
We're gonna head to T6 first. And going at a moderately slow pace.
Alright. That'll take about half the time. So yeah, you get comfy then for a 3-hour trip. As the Taurox rattles and shakes over the rough landscape.
I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
If we left, does that mean the tents are gone too, or can they like
No.
detach and be put on stakes?
They detach and have their own frame as well. Though the sides that would attach to the Taurox are open.
They have extra canvas netting they can, or not canvas netting, the camo netting. They can close the flaps if they need to, but that's good because then that means people can like do sleep things and be ready.
Do
Yep.
the slip.
Tis the sleepy time.
Tis the time for the sleep.
You put head on pillow, you go to sleep. If you cannot sleep, Nualia will punch you. And then you will
Yes.
really
You will sleep after that. You may not wake up after it, but that's okay. That is a risk we are willing to take.
Won't wake up? Hell yeah, Deb.
So, as the Taurox whisks its way off east, Agrotrom, Nualia, you are both left at camp with Feely, Packard, Risa, and Christoph.
Mm-hmm.
Nualia, I assume you were making poison during this time.
There's just a lot of loud bubbling noises.
Yeah, you set up a couple of the squad's camp stoves that comes as part of their mess kit, boiling bulbs in various pots. Agrotron, what are you doing in the downtime as you wait for orders?
Either smoking, digging random, like, minor ditches. I don't know. He's probably like maybe looking to see like, what if there's any alcohol in the dunes? He's dreaming, fantasizing about beer.
I highly doubt that there is alcohol out there. Not unless there's an enemy scout you might get rob it off of, but I doubt they even carry it.
He puts his hands over his eyes like binoculars and he looks out in the dunes.
Oh, before we left, just because I feel like this was minorly implied, but it might not have been. I don't know if I would be allowed to retcon, but I would have definitely said, hey, fucking keep watch, someone.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeet.
We put Feely on watch, it's okay.
Oh my god.
Risa and Chris were both on watch for when you ordered them earlier, and I assume Packard is going to set up his little nest at the top of the mesa.
This is fair.
Packard just lives up at the top of the mesa at this point. He's always on watch. That dude is a paranoid motherfucker, even if he doesn't act like it.
Yeah, he stole some of your camo netting.
Yeah. He just lives here now. This is where he's going once the war is over.
I'm just amused at the idea that he just is up there so much and we see him so little that we accidentally leave him when we go. He just becomes one with the mesa.
But yeah, after a couple of hours of brewing cyanide and Agrotrom doing whatever it is Agrotrom does, you hear the clatter of stones drop from the mesa above you. You glance up to see Packard's face peering over this movement to the north.
Oh, shit. Feely, Agrotrom. There might be, enemy scouts. Get ready.
How much movement? How many, if you can see?
I saw a dust cloud, vehicle of some kind, moving fairly fast. I'd guess scouts.
Does it seem to be heading this way?
Doesn't look like they're coming in our direction. Seem to be running diagonal. They're getting closer, but not coming straight for us.
Alright, just be ready. Whatever happens, do not let Chris and Risa fire the rocket at it.
Nods. You got it.
If they get close enough, I could show you what I did to those men a long time ago.
Oh, I will be more than happy to allow you to do that if they get close enough, but... Hugh... Do I know whether or not I am actually able to, like, stop working with this cyanide? long
Effectively,
enough to deal with this.
you can leave it boiling. If you leave it too long, it'll boil dry and you'll waste some of it. But
How long is too long?
about 30 minutes.
So, essentially, that's a no for me. Alright, Agril, just be ready on Vox speed. If you need assistance, let me know, but I cannot leave this cyanide just yet.
He gives you finger guns. Don't worry. A few scouts is nothing. They'll fall like butter to Grimball.
That is, if they come this way. Hopefully they do not.
Yes, of course. Is it alcohol I smell? No.
Quick question. Isn't this when we normally are like just about done?
Just
Yep.
about, yeah.
That might be a good stopping point then.
I was just about to, unless Agrotron had something else he wanted to do.
Yeah, he's gonna chuck his fucking axe over the dune in the hopes that he hits the driver of the car. No.
Please don't say that jokingly. One of these days he's gonna hold you to your bullshit.
Well, that's why I say I'm joking afterwards. As
Fair.
I'm not that mean of a DM, fortunately.
Until we piss you off enough.
Well, yeah. If you start doing stupid shit on the regular, then one day I will just catch you by surprise and say, "All right, it happens."
Imagine though how legendary that would be if I did that and it worked.
I think I save all my
That
condensed
would
stupid
be-
shit for the Sunday game.
You would have to roll pretty damn high. Your throwing range is 4 times your strength.
Not horrific. How many? Can you give me a ballpark? How many successes it would take?
At the current range they're at, 30, 40 maybe.
Yeah.
They're a good like 200 or 300 or they're a good like kilometer and a half or so away.
So, easily doable for a dwarf of your strength.
That is, he certainly believes that.
A hammer toss.
If he had a spare axe, he'd definitely try, but nah, he won't throw a all away.
That range would be pushing it even for a space marine.
That range would definitely be pushing it.
Get the big recorder. I gotta send this to Caritas.
It's like one of those
Developing relationships between the two of them where they start sending selfies of like their greatest moments.
it's like one of those the basketball like vines and videos that people would make or the basketball trick shot videos. That's it. Just like you just yeet the axe over your shoulder and watch it go off camera, and then a few seconds later come down in the distance on camera and hit a driver in the head. We've been trying 200 times for that!
First try. You see, ideally, it'd be like this. He stands there, he double hand yeets it really hard. The guy just doesn't notice it. He like makes a turn. And we just hear in the distance, firstly a splat or like a thunk, and then like a car spinning out, flipping over. You just hear the bending of metal. And then Agrodrum just looks deadpan into the camera. It says, "I got them." Thumbs up.
That would be pretty impressive. But we shall leave
Could
it there
we
for
get
today.
Ring style attachment for Grimbald.
Well, with all of that, I am gonna see where to send this raid of lovely people.
Hugh.
I don't know how technologically feasible a boomerang axe is.
Consider
I might
this.
allow a
Psychic powers
boomerang
exist.
knife.
What
Consider
if though,
this: psychic powers exist.
Well, if
How
you have
would
the
a
assail
boomerang
psychic
actually
power,
really-
then if you have the assail psychic power, then yes. But
Okay, so
Isn't
what I'm
it
hearing
possi-
is Mason, you need to ascend into a psyker so you can have a boomerang axe.
Also,
Uh,
basically
gi-
tier 3
give me-
dwarf.
give me a little bit on that one. That I'll do it, but not in the same manner of which you describe, or you expect. Anyway, what I would imagine should be possible is if I could get it like gene lock to me, and then somehow give it the ability to teleport back. 'Cause
that is feasible with Imperial technology.
But yes.
Difficult and expensive, but
Anyway,
feasible.
I am gonna take over at this point
Yep.
because the
Okay.
raid timer is going. We're gonna send everybody over to Bercoda. She is one of the members of the Quantum Pride Twitch team that I am a part of. She is really nice. She's really cool. She's playing Dead by Daylight right now with looks like a friend. They're playing it side by side, so pretty cool. And yeah, hope everybody has enjoyed. Let's see, tomorrow will not be one of my usual RPG nights. Instead, I have been invited to join the streamer Squidpunk to play Battleborn. The servers for Battleborn are closing at the end of this month, so this will be the very last time that we will be able to do this. So we're gonna give it a send-off. But yeah, hope everybody enjoyed, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.
I-
I caught that.
Perfect.